Yo, welcome back to more Tsukihime. So, quick thing, it's kind of funny. Last time I get pointed out to me, there was no music. Did not even notice. I guess I was just that immersed, which is probably a good thing, but wow, it was just dead silent. It was just me talking. Crazy. And I thought it was a bug when someone told me that. I'm like, oh, my game must have bugged out or something. But no, I realized just now the game was muted because every time I have to test the audio on this game, it keeps playing even when I tab out to like check the recording. So I have to mute it, listen to the recording, then I can unmute it and then start playing. I just forgot to unmute it last time, so that's my bad. I should have known when the special H music wasn't playing. But yeah, I guess I was just that into it. Kohaku, Hisui. Dude, I got asked like how many times do I think that they were swapped in the game, and I have no idea. Probably way more than I think. I can only think of like recent examples in the past day or the past days of like Shiki being out of commission in bed and being taken care of, and of course like the big thing was the confession like of Kohaku talking about being by the window and Shiki looking at her. Oh, and then we get all the fucked up implications about them being synchronizers and Makihisa using Kohaku. Fucking yikes. Don't even want to go there. But I got corrected on something. So apparently I misremembered when Shiki was reading Makihisa's journal and the information in this room. I misremembered him saying it was a boy or like using any pronoun that it was referring to Shiki. At the time, you're supposed to assume it's Shiki because you don't know about Hisui and Kohaku yet. But it's just about them. So they're the only synchronizers. And their ability, we see the effects right now. Shiki is feeling, he has regained his strength, he can move. And I think we gotta go see what's going on with Akiha and Kohaku. You know, Akiha resolving to deal with Roa Shiki after giving a little bit of strength back to Shiki and just result like she hates seeing him like this. She knows, she understands what's going on. And Kohaku and Hisui understand quite a bit as well, for sure. Oh man, but it was just a really like to see like Hisui truly here, like confirmed Hisui here, really be honest with Shiki and for them to just be there for each other and it lead to them saying I love you, you know, in the very nice way. Um it's great. But now we gotta deal with some shit, so okay, let's go. Hisui sleeps in my bed. It might be because she helped me regain my strength, but Hisui is absolutely exhausted. Or maybe I pushed her too hard. I feel a tinge of regret. All of this was her first time, so that was really too much for her. But she is just so cute, I couldn't help it. I make up an excuse, but it can't be helped. Hisui sleeps, taking relaxed breaths. If I'm going to take action, it has to be now. Sorry. Sleep just a little longer, Hisui. After running my hand through her hair one last time, I change my clothes and leave the room. That's right. Akiha and Kohaku-san aren't here. This is a good opportunity. I can do some investigating into what happened 8 years ago. Okay. Because Shiki doesn't really, of course, doesn't know what's going on, so he's just gonna go for this first. I enter the old man's room. This place should definitely have something to answer my questions. The desk drawer, it's empty now. There might be something that belongs to the old man in one of the locked drawers, but I don't think he'll keep something that important there. It'd be great if he had a safe or something. I search the room. Here it is. I find something like a safe pretty easily. There's no external lock and I don't know the dial combination. So I take off my glasses and I cut its line. A safe, huh? There seems to be an old diary and some envelopes. The diary looks like that of a child's and the other looks like some old letters. Old letters? Why? The handwriting is definitely my old man's. It's fragmented and I can't understand it at first glance. The date starts in the summer of 8 years ago and seems to continue on a little past that. I don't understand it yet, but I continue leafing through it. That's me playing this game. Month, day. My son Shiki succumbed to his Tono blood. Shiki, he killed my adopted son who happened to be there. The adopted son is the heir of the house Nanaya. I guess it is a blessing in all the unfortunate events that he isn't in the same family as the synchronizers like Kohaku and Hisui. Okay, there you go. Shiki's inversion impulse is terrible. So it was determined that he must be eliminated. I have my duty as the head of the Tono household, but killing my own son is so difficult. Goddamn. The Tono blood more in Shiki than in Akiha. Talking about potential, I feel an older origin in Akiha's blood, but Shiki's Tono blood runs much stronger. An older origin. I assume that is why Shiki inverted before he became an adult. Shiki's powers are immortality and fusion. Shiki could not manage the awakened powers and as a result killed the adopted Nanaya child, taking his life. It's so funny when you look at these powers, looking at what happened to him. Like with Aroa and everything. Crazy. I have to say it was a superb job for using his powers for the first time. Month, X day. Both Shiki and the adopted son managed to escape death. Before I killed Shiki, he killed the adopted son and stole his life, regenerating himself with it. There it is. I don't know if it is because he was so close to death, but Shiki has regained some of his sanity. Even though it is dangerous, I will not kill him, but simply separate from the mansion for a while. So I'm glad that Shiki is now being able to learn all this shit, because that's the hardest part about the routes, is Shiki being out of the loop. So there it is, like, now you know. Little Shiki. Even though it is dangerous, I will not kill him, but simply separate him from the mansion for a while. On the other hand, the adopted child of Nanaya will not live long even if he does survive. Even if he does heal, his life has been taken by Shiki. His body can die any day. As long as the adopted child lives, there's a possibility that his mind will be attuned with Shiki's. Yeah, Makihisa knew what was up, man. Yo, there it is. It seems it is a side effect of their two lives being linked. But if that happens, the adopted son will die eventually, so there's no problem there. Month day, the problem of maintaining appearances to normal society still remains. Shiki has killed the adopted Nanaya child. I have covered up the incident, but Shiki cannot be shown to the public. The wound I gave him hasn't healed, and his figure has transformed. He is not in a condition to be brought in front of others as Tono Shiki. He cannot be called a human either. The Nanaya child still lives. As long as he lives, I've decided to use him. If there are any disagreements, I would like to hear them. Use him how? I guess as the adopted to replace Shiki. Complementarity. The Nanayas are a family that produces killers. Oh, here we go. Here it is. If that adopted son happens to stay alive, the link between him and Shiki may corrupt Shiki's mind. Even if Shiki regains his sanity, I cannot deny the possibility of the Nanaya child's influence turning him into a killer. To not let this happen, we must have him somewhere where we can keep an eye on him. But we cannot allow him near the Tono mansion either. I should have him raised by an appropriate branch of the family. Yo. That's I didn't even like consider that. That Shiki's Nanaya blood has such an effect on Roa Shiki. Through their link. That's crazy. The Tono blood that is awakened within Shiki. Maybe it is because he was so close to death, but he has regained his sanity like before. But I don't know if something will cause him to invert again. Even though it tears me apart, I cannot allow Shiki near the Tono mansion either. I place him in the care of a trusted servant. In the care of a trusted servant. I still haven't received word that his sanity has completely been restored. A year has passed with him under the care of another house. My heart is in anguish. It is so hard for me when I think of the way my own son has to live. As soon as Shiki heals, I will be able to bring him back to the mansion. What is this? Adopted son. I knew about the adoption 10 years ago. Even though I don't exactly remember the details, I know about it. He killed me? 8 years ago, in that courtyard? Our minds are linked. The words say that my mind and his are possibly linked. The Shiki stole Shiki's life, took his life. Akiha gave half of hers to our Shiki. Now we got that big link. Normally the story would just be something to laugh off, but right now it explains too much. No, that's not it. This isn't anything like that. I know. Even though I already know about it, I try not to notice. I want to deny it again. The adopted child was... The one who was killed was... I know which is which, but I don't want to admit it. This is useless. Cursing myself, I toss the letters to the side. All that's left is this. I pick up the diary in the safe. It looks like a child's diary, certainly nothing Tono Makihisa would have had. Is this... I swear to fuck if this is Kohaku's diary. I flip the pages. There are only 2 words. It is Kohaku's. Help me. Like that. On a white page. It is written really small. Huh? I flip through the pages. Help me. I turn the page. Help me. I turn the page. Help me. I turn the page. What? It's like a curse that brings the reader to the depths of darkness. Help me. 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 Oh my god. I feel sick. I've seen many nightmares up until now, but this is far worse. Those words, help me. It isn't that whoever wrote this diary knew only those words. Only these words. That is all this person could feel. None of the dark litany was scribbled out. One letter after another, like the spewed feelings of this person. This is the only way the author could escape. This person knew no other way to let out this curse. There's still more than half the diary to look at. I can't bring myself to read the rest of it. I flip through the pages, trying not to look at its contents. As I flip through the pages, my hand stops on the very last page. Regular sentences? On the last page, there is a short paragraph. Silver lettering adorns the otherwise perfectly white sheet. So it's better to just become a doll. Gradually, my body stopped generating a pulse. Blood vessels turned into tubes one by one. Blood vanished like vapor. My heart, everything, just crafted parts. See, that's why there will be no more pain. Oh my god. Closing the diary, I put it back in the safe. I don't know why Tono Makihisa kept such a thing. Rotten hell, bastard. But I do know one thing. Fearing the child's malice, it was something meant to be sealed away in the safe. The day draws to a close. The dark garden. The dark trees spread out before me like a black veil. I remember the dream I saw before coming to this mansion. Alright. It isn't that there is something there. I just need to confirm something in my heart, so I enter the black veil. I just... There isn't anything here. It's not like the body of the one killed 8 years ago is here. It's not like the blood of the one who killed 8 years ago is here. For an instant, the scene flashes in my mind. That hot summer day, I was looking down at my bloodstained self as if I was another person. So, someone must have been killed here. Whether it was me or him, I don't know. Which one was adopted? Which one is the monster Shiki? If I think about it logically, I had to have been the one to kill him here. That is incorrect. The one who was killed was you, Shiki-sama. Oh, Hisui. I turn around. I don't know when she arrived, but Hisui is there. Hisui, you woke up already? Don't push yourself. Aren't you still tired? Shiki-sama, you are the one who should not push yourself. You are still losing energy at a great pace, much more than you have gained. Hisui stands before me. My pulse picks up. Hisui standing so close to me really does make me feel more alive. Wow, my body really is warm. I think it is your warmth coming into me. But Hisui, what are you saying? You say that I was killed here. Do you know what happened here? Yes. I saw you die here. Yeah, she was talking about this in the last part. She straight up said, but you know, Shiki didn't fully understand. You were killed by Shiki. Not just your body and soul, but everything was killed. Her voice is shaking. It isn't that she is scared. Instead, she sounds incredibly angry at that person who killed me. Wait a sec, Hisui. The one who was killed was the adopted Nanaya kid. So wasn't he the one who died? No, you are the one that died, Shiki-sama. Hisui answers directly. Oh, I see. Then that means... Yep. I see. So, I'm the adopted child? Yes, you are a descendant of the Nanaya family. Makihisa-sama adopted you, the only surviving member. Your name is Shiki, because Makihisa-sama found it amusing that his son was also named Shiki by a strange coincidence. He adopted you. Basically, fuck Makihisa. Our names are the same? Yes. It is natural for you to be confused. You are different from us. You were really adopted into the Tono family. I can't speak. Such a thing isn't a shock or anything. I remember not getting along with my old man from the beginning, and I never felt quite right in the mansion. So such a thing... Such a thing... Even if it were all lies, The CGs of the two of them, now that we know, oh my god. I'm very sorry, saying things that cause you sadness. No, I'm fine. I'm not sad. I say that, but I know it's a lie. I don't know what kind of feeling it is, but it is true that I feel an emptiness in my heart. But that's weird. People of the Tono bloodline have powers, don't they? If Shiki was a vampire, then what am I? I'm not the same as him, but I have these strange eyes. I do not know in detail, but Akiha-sama said that you are the same as Nesan and I, whose families are enemies to those of mixed blood. We have the power to synchronize with those we exchange fluids with, and the Nanaya family had the power to fight demons. I see. Certainly my eyes are not a power to help people like Hisui's. Rather, it is a power to kill. I see. But then, why was I adopted by the old man? It doesn't make any sense why he would adopt an enemy. Shiki-sama, you are the inheritor of a very special bloodline of demon hunters. Asagami, Fujo, Ryogi, and Nanaya. Amazing. These four families are the enemies of mixed blood. I forget which movie in Kara no Kyokai it was. It might have been Remaining Sense of Pain, movie 3. But they straight up talk about, when we see, like, the flashback of Fujino and the Asagami family, I think they even talk about all the different families. Did they mention Nanaya? I guess they would have to if this was the context. I don't remember. It's been some time since I've seen those movies, but... Oh, that's so cool. I think Makihisa-sama brought you here to help fend off something. Wait, what? That's why? Okay, so yeah, I was wondering before, so I was like, wait, yeah, so yeah, Shiki's not a synchronizer like Hisui and Kohaku. So why the fuck was he adopted? He was adopted before the inversion incident. So it's like... But I didn't know, so I was like, let me just keep reading. And then Hisui said, you know, by a strange coincidence, you have the same name. He adopted you. I was like, really? That's why? But no, to help fend off something. I mean, how did he even get a chance to adopt me in the first place? Oh, you just murdered your whole family? You know, standard. I heard that you were the only member of the Nanaya family to survive. No. I see. 10 years ago. The Japanese-style house nestled deep within the mountains. Surrounded by a black forest, a rustic world isolated from the flow of history. I can't quite remember it well. All I can remember is that pale blue glass moon. And in that forest clearing, a figure that looked like Tono Makihisa was cutting up lots of people. And that's the opening. But that was then, and this is now. Something done so long ago, it doesn't matter now. Well, I understand that I was killed by Shiki here. But how is it that I am living as Tono Shiki right now? Yeah. You can thank a certain person for that. Yes. Without a doubt, you were stabbed by Shiki in the chest and on the verge of death. But by some miracle, you were able to recover. You were saved, and Shiki also survived. Since no one died, everything should have ended right then. But Shiki became something that could not be shown to other people. I see, so a replacement was needed for Tono Shiki. The name of Tono Makihisa is in the top of the business world. His son can't just suddenly die. Yes, Makihisa-sama pretended that the Nanaya child died and had you live as Tonoshiki. It was all to protect the family name. I get it, it's something the old man would do. Yeah, everything fits in now. Even though I am Tonoshiki, I'm not technically part of the Tono family. Besides Akiha, no one else holds that blood. So my old man sent me to live with the Arimas and contrived the situation where I couldn't be the successor since my health was bad, even though I was supposedly the eldest son of the Tono household. Shiki-sama, it's fine. You don't have to apologize for keeping this a secret. Just telling me now is enough. Besides, aren't you like me? No, compared to you or Nessan, I have not suffered at all. Yeesh, even after Makihisa-sama died, Akiha-sama took us under her care. So only I live peacefully, not knowing anything. Wait, Hisui? Akiha, she knows that I'm not her real brother? Yes. She heard it from Makihisa-sama after you were adopted. But Akiha-sama would always insist that you were her real brother. Every day, Makihisa-sama would tell Akiha-sama to forget about you. But Akiha-sama would never agree. Even though she would be scolded severely, she still waited for you in her heart. If you knew the truth, you would leave. That is why Akiha-sama told us to never let you know the truth. Akiha-sama always helped Nessan and myself. Nessan was Makihisa-sama's servant and was not allowed out of his room. Akiha-sama hated that and freed Nessan. That's what I'm fucking talking about. So, for Akiha-sama's sake, we continued the lie. Akiha-sama, all of us, we wanted you to come back. Hisui. So please, do not hate Akiha-sama. More than anyone else, she thinks importantly of you. Yeah, I know. There's no way I would hate her. It's more appropriate for me to be hated. I was the one living peacefully while you were all suffering. So, I'm thankful to Akiha. She welcomed me, nothing more than an outsider, back into the mansion. She even calls me brother. So I'll have to keep it up, too. If she is willing to call me Tonoshiki as her brother, then I don't care about the name Nanaya Shiki. I have to continue being her brother, continue being Tonoshiki. It's cool that he comes to this conclusion again. Gotta deal with right now. Also, this song makes every scene just so... It's such an enhancement. It's funny, I didn't notice last time, man. God damn. That's crazy. Good. Shiki-sama. Hisui rushes to me. I separate myself from Hisui, who is staring with a worried face, and take a deep breath. Jeez. Just got helped by you, Hisui, but I'm still having these headaches. Shiki-sama, your body's weakening is because of that incident 8 years ago. At that time, Shiki stole your life and is using it to prolong his own life. That is why you are weakening and why you are linked with Shiki. Yeah. Man, because I remember before when we learned about Shiki's power, which was to steal life, and I found it strange. It's like, huh, it's a really like weird thing to have, but I mean, it's just the crux of like their whole connection and that event. I see. So that's how it is. In other words, as long as I don't do something about that killer, Shiki, I won't be able to return to normal. Yes, I believe he despises you utterly. That is why he is stealing your life gradually, trying to dirty your heart. He is enjoying your pain. Her voice is shaded with anger again. He hates me? I don't get it. He's the one that killed me. I can understand me having a grudge against him, but why would he have a grudge against me? No, Shiki sees you as someone who has killed him. Shiki-sama, you have caused the existence of Tonoshiki to disappear. I caused him to disappear? Yes. You were certainly killed by Shiki. But once your life was saved, you took Shiki's place as Tonoshiki. After that, the Shiki who was confined somewhere must have viewed you as a threat. Tonoshiki is still alive, but there is now someone else existing as Tonoshiki. Shiki is still alive, but you have taken away everything as Tonoshiki, and he became something that has no name, no existence. I see. So he views himself as the rightful Tonoshiki and sees me as an imposter. No wonder. Shiki wants to kill me and get everything back. But that is coming to an end. I will protect you, Shiki-sama. No matter what Shiki does, I will not let him kill you once again. Even if the killer Shiki walks the streets, he will be disposed of. So please, until then, rest in your room. Rest in my room? No, that won't help me. She doesn't know it, but our fusion gets worse by day. That means, if he really does go crazy, I don't know if I can stay sane myself. Huh. He's the guy who would hurt even himself to get his revenge. Revenge? No, that's not it. The Shiki who says he was killed by me. The Shiki who sees me as an imposter. The Shiki who repeatedly says he will kill me. The Shiki who says any of this would not have happened if I was not here. The Shiki who has lost his sanity like Tonomaki Hisa, killing people in the streets. And yes, the one who died in the distant past, the child called Nanaya Shiki. Unconsciously, I grit my teeth. Don't be ridiculous. I'm the one who has the right to be bitter, Shiki. Suddenly, the old wound on my chest starts to hurt. There's only one way to stop this pain. Shiki-sama, where are... You know, he says he's going to come, but I'm not going to wait for him. I know where his hideout is. Yeah, buddy. You saw it. I will end this worthless connection of ours. Please stop, Shiki-sama. With your body like that, it will be too dangerous. Hisui. Sorry, but there's a knife in my room. Would you go get it for me? I refuse. I cannot let you go. Oh well, I'll get it myself. Watch over things when I'm gone. Shiki-sama. Turning my back to Hisui, I walk away. Shiki-sama, if you do that, I will really get upset. Silently apologizing to Hisui, I head back inside. She might have to come with him. He's not gonna stop. I leave the gate. In my pocket is the knife engraved with Nanaya. Thanks to Hisui, I have strength in my body now. If there is a problem, that is... that Hisui remains by my side. Hisui, please go back to the mansion. I refuse. Do not listen to my words, so I will not listen to yours. Hisui peevishly tosses her head to the side. Now look, I'm not saying you're going to get in the way. The place I'm going to is very dangerous, so I want you to stay in the mansion. You say that, but should I leave, you will collapse. If you really do want to go, it will be a big problem for you unless I go along. Eh, your power is like that? But we did that. We joined our bodies so much, shouldn't I be good for a while? No, that is just like a ritual to form intimate bonds between us. Even if someone has exchanged fluids with me or Nessan, they cannot receive energy if we are not nearby. That's a huge problem. If that is true, then I can't even get to the school by myself. You still order me to stay here, I will. Please decide on what I should do. Hisui looks at me directly. It seems my answer is already decided. If I can't get to school without her help, then I can only let her come with me. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go, dude. Roashiki. Coming for you. For the first time in so many days, I arrive at school. The eerie silence sends a chill down my spine. A space where no living presence can be felt. Even though it holds hundreds of students during the daytime, it looks like an abandoned ruin under the moonlight. Shiki-sama, is this really the right place? I don't have the words to answer her. I've only seen him being in school in my dreams. Let's go, Hisui. We walk through the front gate. Dude, are we gonna see the aftermath? Because Akiha and Kohaku would have come here as well. So are we gonna see what happened? Shiki-sama, this is... Hisui halts immediately like I did. Creak. Night hangs over the school building. As soon as I pass the gate, I feel something wrong in the air. Creak, creak. The air as a whole is creaking. The tense atmosphere stings our lungs. Creak, creak, creak. This feeling, I felt this ill wind many times in my nightmares. The air is thick with a murderous intent. Hostility. Hatred. Inside the building, the darkness is filled with murderous intent, as if a battle to the death is occurring like in my dreams. Shiki, he's fighting someone? Dude, we gotta go. I don't get it. There couldn't be anyone that would be able to fight an inhuman monster like him. Well, ne-san? A whisper. Hisui speaks this as if resisting the urge to throw up. Ne-san. Kohaku-san. Akiha hasn't been in the mansion since morning. She left with Kohaku-san and didn't return all day. Last night, when I was locked up in my room, Akiha told me to just wait a little longer. What? Don't tell me. Akiha! My legs spring into action. There you go. Before I start to think, I dash towards the building. I run into the building. Inside, the air is even more tense. Shiki-sama. Not answering her, I search for any indication of presence. The hallway is horribly quiet. Scream! A high-pitched sound assails my eardrums. I don't think that was the intended onomatopoeia for me to imagine. It shakes the windows. The sound, it's coming from the floor above me. Shiki-sama, that's... Just stay close. Let's go, Hisui. Grabbing Hisui's hand, I bolt to the stairs. Still holding her hand, I go up the stairs. I clench my teeth. That day, I remember about the time when I left the room and overheard Akiha and Kohaku-san talking. Akiha said she would kill Shiki, her brother. I know now that she didn't mean me, but she meant Shiki. Yes, sir. Without a doubt, the ones fighting right now are Akiha and Shiki. Dude. Scream! The ear-piercing noise screams once again. I get is it trying to make the sound that it just played? Like, I feel like a shing or a, I don't know. Scream. Translation. Sound comes from above around the 4th floor. That idiot. I fly through the 3rd floor. Damn it, she's being unreasonable. Because of my nightmares, I understand Shiki's body the best. His power isn't on the same level as the humans. I don't know how non-human the members of the Tono family are, but she won't be able to win. It would be like going to get herself killed. I run up the stairs as fast as I can. Akiha. I turned her away, not trusting her. I haven't done anything to act like her brother, but still she calls me her brother. And now she is fighting the killer Shiki by herself. Damn it. I just have this terrible, awful feeling. I'm so worried of what's gonna happen here, dude. Akiha can't possibly win. We're gonna have to see. We have to see. Will Shiki kill her? I don't know. I don't think he will kill Akiha since he persistently went after Akiha in the dreams. But on the other hand, I don't think he has the same definition of being persistent about someone. This is also really worrying too, because we know what Shiki wants to do to Akiha and what that does to her. Oh my god. Our definition is obtaining the ones we are persistent about. He's crazy. I can't understand his broken conceptions since I'm not. No, even a lunatic couldn't understand another lunatic's thoughts. Since the lunatic himself Can't understand it, no one understands it, and he has to be alone. Akiha, she is alive. Akiha, she has to be alive. There's no way she'll be killed by Shiki. Because I should be the one Shiki is going to kill. Akiha, I cannot let her die in my place. If such a thing happens, Screech. That's better. As I arrive on the 4th floor, that sound screeches once more. It's close. It feels like it is in the hallway past these stairs. Akiha. The worst mental image still writhing in my brain, I dash into the hallway. Come on, we just gotta see. Stop the tension. Stop it. Let's go. For a moment, I stand, dumbstruck. From behind me, I hear Hisui gasp. Akiha. That's the only thing that pops into my head. The moonlit hallway. I like how moonlit is capitalized. In the freezing air that cuts into my lungs, Akiha is standing a few yards down the hall. A red hair, dude. Like blood, a deep crimson. Oh, that's such a cool sprite. At first, it looks like Akiha's blood. But that's not right. What is red is just her long, long hair. Still not able to grasp what is going on. Down the hallway, there's Akiha with her red flowing hair and... Yo, it looks like he's struggling. He's struggling, dude. And him crouching with one hand on the floor, coughing up blood. I was hoping this would happen. The one kneeling before Akiha is him, Shiki. Akiha's looking down at him. Drawing close behind her is the figure of Kohaku-san. Yo, 2v1. Shiki is seemingly on the verge of death and gasping for air. Akiha's not even breathing wildly. The problem is, you have to kill Shiki. You can't just kill him, you have to mystic, eye, and death, perception kill him. The situation, unbelievably, it would seem Akiha is the one overwhelming him. Shiki leaps forward. In a flash of speed I can't even follow, a black blur shoots toward Akiha. Screech! Akiha simply glances down at Shiki. With that, his body slams down to the ground and is as if in response to the sound. Oh my god. A glance? A fucking glance? His torso burns, giving out smoke. Oh shit. Yo, we never got to see what Akiha could really do. Oh my god. We knew it wasn't just her hair turning red. Let's go, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. Shiki screams echo through the hallway. His evaporating body is covered in smoke. Sorry, I can't scream too loud. The walls are thin. His body under his kimono has mostly bones showing like a mummy. But he still lives, his gruesome form still staring at Akiha. His eyes filled with fear. On the other hand, Akiha's clothes are undisturbed. This is so funny, dude. Even from here, I can understand it all. And I don't mean like it's funny because this is so badass. I love seeing Akiha just being a badass. Oh my god, this is what I wanted. Even from here, I can understand it all. Her surroundings are distorted like a heat-induced mirage. It seems more out of this world than the air in the building. Shiki claws at his evaporating body. Akiha calmly observes without carelessness. These two's powers, they are fundamentally different. Amazing. Akiha-sama, that is amazing. Behind me, Hisui speaks in surprise. That's exactly what I'm thinking too. What is this? You can say she is superior, but that's too much. She is dominating him. He's too overwhelming. This is it, Shiki. Akiha. With a ragged breath, Shiki somehow manages to say his real sister's name. Dude, what a wretched look on his face, man. I pity this poor soul. Souls. Akiha, she just stares at Shiki, unmoving. I mean, it's the fusion, but yeah, I pity OG Shiki. Fuck the Roa part of him. That was like the whole cause of all this bullshit too. Along with Makihisa, which we've learned so much about, but man, I feel bad for Shiki. Akiha, she just stares at Shiki, unmoving. Well, why are you treating me this way? I'm your true Nisa. Shifting the distortion around Akiha increases even more. I love you, Akiha. I only love you. That's why I kept living in that damn basement, trying to kill that imposter and trying to get us back to being brother and sister. So why? Why are you getting in my way, Akiha? I'm not getting in your way. This is nothing more than my duty as the head of the Tono household. The duty to pass down judgment on all those in the family who stray from being human. I'm the head of the Tono household. If he was not here, I would have still been Shiki. I could have always been your Nissan. Wake up, Akiha. That imposter is just deceiving you. The distortion around Akiha increases even more. After closing her eyes briefly, she looks at Shiki as if she is parting with him. Dude, her power is like... She's like Roy Mustang without having to snap. She looked at him and he got slammed to the ground and burned. And you can see like the wavy heat lines of distortion. I know exactly what he's talking about. That's so... Oh my god. This is just sad now. After closing her eyes briefly, she looks at Shiki as if she is parting with him. I am not being deceived. You are not my Nissan. Scream. Ah. Shiki hides his face with his hands. But that is pointless. I don't understand what kind of power Akiha possesses. But that takes away heat from everything in her view, anything she can see. Wait, she can take away heat? It is an inevitable plunder. Scream! So in the next instant, Shiki's face will vaporize. Well, it should have. I guess she can manipulate heat. Oh, just like she needs the heat from other living things to sustain herself. Right. Shiki-san, Kohaku-san says this as she realizes our presence. Eh? Akiha turns towards us in surprise. Oh no. Please don't that. No. Oh, I was afraid of this. Oh my god, in a split second of her being distracted, Shiki's about to fucking just... In that brief moment, for just a split second, a complete letting down of her guard. There's no way he would let that chance slip away. Shiki lunges with a cry. His black shape explodes forward like a firework. Tss. Akiha and Kohaku-san both turn. But it's hopeless. They'll never make it. Black shape isn't going for Akiha. Wait, what? Shiki lunges not at Akiha, but at Kohaku-san, who stands next to her. No, he knows. Just like how I am able to move right now because of Hisui's power, he knows that Akiha's overwhelming power is possible through Kohaku-san's help. Oh my god. And Kohaku being a synchronizer, it's like doubly so for Akiha to maintain herself through Kohaku by drinking her blood. That's why she's able to power up to this extent. Oh my god. He's just going straight for the source. Kohaku. Akiha's voice cannot stop it. Hee. Shiki raises his voice and with his arm thrusting like a spear, aims for Kohaku's face. Dude, has Kohaku not suffered enough? Are you fucking kidding me? The sound of pierced flesh. Yo! Oh my god. What an awful CG. Oh my god. My voice dies in my throat. Splat. The sound of blood spurting forth. Kohaku-san's face is splattered with the redness of Akiha's blood. Akiha-sama? Ah. Sound of coughing. Akiha tries to speak, but blood is the only thing that pours from her mouth. That means majority of her blood vessels have been destroyed, and all she can do is regurgitate blood. I can't speak. My mind is empty. That is the same as Shiki, who has just impaled Akiha. Ah! Shiki pulls back his arm. Thud. Oh my god. Akiha's body falls down on Kohaku-san. No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. Just realized what he did. Shiki swings his bloodstained arm around wildly. Every time he waves it around, Akiha's blood paints the wall and ceiling. Oh my god, this is fucking awful. Shiki shakes his arm desperately. Akiha. Shiki suddenly stops moving. Shiki stares at Akiha's blood-drenched body, then looks at his blood-soaked arm, then bolts down the hallway as if running from something. Oh my god. His footsteps lead upstairs. Shiki has run to the rooftop. But that... I don't care about that. Akiha. Still unable to think, I run to her. Kohaku-san is still standing in a daze, her amber eyes nothing more than jewels devoid of emotion. I crouch down next to Akiha's body. No fucking way, dude. Akiha just lies on the floor, powerless with terribly calm eyes. Akiha! I can't tell her. It's alright. Even with my glasses on, I can see them. Akiha. These are the only words that I can think of. Akiha, with her calm, gentle eyes, looks up at me. Isan, why are you here? She coughs. More blood trickles from her mouth. I can see them. The lines of death on her body are spreading across her body with gruesome speed. This is fatal. The fact that she's still alive must simply be due to her unnatural tone of blood. God damn it, why? Even though I understand death better than anyone else, I don't want to believe it. Don't move. I'll help you right away. Taking off my shirt, I put it on Akiha's chest. Trying to cover up her wound, I tie it up. The blood soaks the shirt in a matter of seconds. Doesn't do anything. As if trying to hold off my weeping emotions, I push against it. All I can do is push. Hey, answer me. In a daze. Akiha. Oh, hey, answer me. In a daze, Akiha says this to me like she does not see me pushing against her wound. Nisan, why are you here? I'm curious, so I can't rest until I know. Things I don't understand, they make me angry. Know that, right? Oh yeah, that's right. I nod. Her wound keeps bleeding. Shirt is too soaked, it can't stop the bleeding. Damn it, this crappy shirt. Why does it have to soak so fast? I'm pissed at the useless shirt, my useless self. Really not being able to stop just one wound. Stupid. Why, you ask? This is my school. Even though it's late, it's not that strange for me to be here. I hold back my tears. I answer as best as I can. I see. This isn't like me at all. I didn't even think of that at all. Akiha sounds satisfied. Doesn't even seem to be in pain. Only her body warmth starts to disappear. Like pure white ice melting under the sun. Does she understand what is happening? Or maybe it is because she does understand. She speaks normally as if we were talking during breakfast. God damn, dude. Like pure white ice melting under the sun. Hey, you hear what we were talking about? Yeah, sorry, but I heard. Oh, no now. Such an idiot, letting you hear it, the person I didn't want to let hear the most. Don't speak. It's okay, so relax. Please. I roll up my shirt and tie it around her body. I know it's useless. But if I don't do anything, I don't think I can stay sane. I'm sorry. I've deceived you all this time. I've kept secrets about so many things. It's okay. I don't care about it. So please. Isan, you are not my real brother. It was a horrible woman. Oh, I was a horrible. I wanted you to always be by my side, so I told all those stupid lies. So this is my punishment. With her trembling lips, Akiha says those words clearly. The blood doesn't stop. I'll go crazy at this rate. I knew. I already knew. So don't worry about it. I grip her hand tightly. She takes a deep breath. Akiha gives a strange smile. Isan, you knew? Then I didn't have to hold back. I really am an idiot. Her lips shaped those words. She should have said it. She should have voiced it. But Akiha did not do so. Oh my god. Dude, not Akiha. No. I was so worried someone important was gonna die here. Like, I guess it would have had to have been Kohaku or Akiha, but fuck, man. Akiha? There's no reply. What I am holding right now is not breathing. Hey. There's no response. What I am holding is what used to be Tono Akiha. Say something. There will never be an answer. What I am holding is closed her eyes calmly. Akiha! I shake her body, even though I understand better than anyone else that it has no meaning. Shiki-sama, please. Hisui places her hand on mine. Not even realizing it, I was making her body dirty. Like an idiot, I made her body dirty. Quietly, I place her on the floor. So we go into a rooftop now? The school building is horribly quiet. Hisui and I are wordlessly frozen. Only Kohaku-san seems to have regained the power to move. Oh my god. I wonder where Shiki-sama went to. Shiki. Those words catapult my consciousness back. Going to a fucking rooftop now? Nessan, don't say that now. No, Kohaku-san is right. I stand up. It's a good thing. It really is a good thing I brought my knife. But please stop, Shiki-sama. You don't have to do such a dangerous thing. Shiki will not last long with that wound anyways. No. Akiha went that far since she could not let Shiki the killer be alive any longer. For Akiha's sake, I can't leave him be. I say this as I push her away. That's a lie. More than that, just 'cause I have to settle this with him here and now. I hate him. To put it simply, I just want to kill him. Don't follow me. Both of you stay here and take care of Akiha. Kohaku-san nods. Hisui uneasily watches me as I run up the stairs. The rooftop. Moon hangs in the sky. That wild beast is crouching on the concrete. Shiki. I remove my glasses. I look at his death. Crouching, Shiki is biting his own arms. There exists no trace of sanity. Yeah, that broke him. Whew. If Shiki was going crazy before, like, just wanting at the idea of, like, Shiki replacing him and being away from Akiha and having his life stolen from him, just in agony over that over the years, and the connection between him and Shiki and how it was like fucking with them both. Like both ways. And now he's the one who killed Akiha. He is gone. That's all. That's literally the only part of himself he could retain of the Tono Shiki he once was. Is Akiha. And he did it. He's like, you call it flagellating? He's like, he's punishing himself. He's biting his arms. Like he's... Perhaps what happened caused him to go insane. That pisses me off. I am not able to lose my sanity for Akiha's sake. Underneath the moonlight, even though I've known him for so long, I take my first step towards the enemy I just met tonight. Shiki, Akiha is dead. Ah. Shiki looks at me with bloodshot eyes. His face is half gone, but he still isn't dead. The powers of those of Tono blood, Shiki's power is immortality. That must mean it is harder for him to die, more likely for him to live on. I gotta say, like... Someone answer this for me, because I think that's the thing I was talking about earlier. Are those Shiki's powers, did those manifest because Roa incarnated into him? Or is that a coincidence that just made it more convenient for Roa that he had those kind of traits? I was thinking the former. Like, because of Roa incarnating into him, those are what manifested from his blood. Because it's very, like, in flavor with what he is and what he does, so... I don't know. I feel like it would be lamer if it was just a coincidence, but... That must mean it is harder for him to die, more likely for him to live on. That's funny. Of course, in these routes, we don't get the context of Roa. It's more about Tono Shiki. That's funny. For me, that means nothing. You look ugly. Shut up. Shiki gets up with a sharp breath. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Like a broken record, he repeats the same thing. Shut up, 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 shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut the hell up. Panting furiously, Shiki just shouts. Always noisy. What kind of grudge do you have against me? Oh, is that us? Oh no. Why are you always getting in my way? Shiki screams around while staggering around. What are you? I don't get it. Just shut up. Just leave me alone. Don't look inside me. Don't use my dreams. You're always watching me. That's why I'm so full of uneasiness. Dude, but it went both ways, dude. Shiki claws at his head. What? I never even thought about that. I've always seen him, tracking him in my dreams. But it never even occurred to me how Shiki would feel about being tracked. Both of them, both ways of agony about it. Get out. Get out of me. Get out of my house. Get out of my name. You're in my way. You're in my way. You're in my way. Ow. Shiki is screaming like a child. Same goes for you. I raised my knife. I never thought to understand him in the first place. I came here for a death match. Fine, let's fight to the death. All those who get in my way are my enemy. I'll kill you all. You, Akiha, Kohaku. Just like that old man who wanted to lock me up till I died, I'll kill you all. Shiki screams like a raving lunatic. His figure really is ugly. And then, Shiki attacks me head on. Let's go. Because of his fight with Akiha, Shiki does not have a functional body. So it was easy. Shiki runs, or so he thinks, and I avoid his arm, which is swung slower than walking speed. Yikes. I slice the line from the top of his head to his abdomen. Kick! Thud. Shiki's body loses power and collapses onto mine. See? It's simple. Your lines are too clear. Shiki's death looked like an iron shaft was sticking out of his head. See? That's what I meant by ugly. Shiki just laughs. There, no intelligence exists. Laughing and dying. His arms leaning on me fall to the ground. Shiki dies. Before he does, he looks up at me, curiously. Who are you? Eh? Who are you? What are you saying? I'm the tonal Shiki you were always targeting. I see. You're Shiki. Shiki collapses to the ground. What's this? You look nothing like what I heard. Shiki collapses, and his body disperses into the wind. Like what you heard. It's over. With this, it's over. But I don't feel anything. I won't feel those splitting headaches. I can return to life as normal. But I don't feel happy. What I've lost is far greater. But what is over? Why? I feel dizzy. Shiki's last words won't fade away. Something did end. But I don't know what ended, or in the beginning, what I was trying to end. I look up at the moon. Beautiful moon, isn't it? In the vague darkness, my heart is enthralled. Until Hisui came, I just stood in dumb amazement, standing in the moonlight. Whoa. What? Epilogue? Whoa. The next week passed like it was just a dream. Just like Shiki's dead body, Akiha's remains dissolved into nothingness. Fuck. The whole affair did not leak out to the public and was taken care of by the people of the tonal family. I stayed in the mansion, becoming the successor to the tonal household in Akiha's place. Oh my god, that all happened so fast. What the fuck? I can't believe we're already at the end. What the fuck? Like Akiha dying was just... And then... For now it is just in name, but I guess it's not something that can be determined easily. Since Shiki died, my body returned to health and I'm allowed to lead a normal life. Okay. As for everything else, only a little has changed since before. My happy school life without Akiha. My life at the mansion with Hisui and Kohaku-san. I, Tono Shiki, think the whole incident that occurred after I came to the mansion ended. However, there is still a matter that I have to take care of. If I think about it, there was a slight discrepancy. It was something so small that if I didn't question it, I would never have noticed. That night, if Shiki did not leave those words before he died, the discrepancies between my memories and what Kohaku-san and Hisui told me. Shiki had a grudge against Makihisa. Shiki had a grudge against the old man because he was going to be locked away his entire life, even though my old man wanted to return Shiki to the mansion as early as possible. Shiki thought of me as the target of revenge, but he never showed up in front of me, and he did not even know what I looked like. And one more thing. That one dream where Shiki was violating that one doll-like girl. That is probably... Yeah. That was, the next girl. A clear holiday afternoon. But yeah, that was... I like how the Far Side has been... We really get to see Shiki. And I truly pity him more now than in the near side routes, just because he's just so, it's so obvious, like everything he's feeling is just out in the open. And how like scared, like the fear like of he had of Shiki, like, get out of my head, like, why are you always in my way, like, why can't you just leave me alone, like, you're always watching me, like, I was driving him nuts, like, Shiki seeing him like all the time, I was driving him nuts. And I'm thinking back to like how Makihisa was like, yeah, you know, the Nanaya Shiki being here, it could cause Shiki to become a killer. Because his Nanaya blood is so strong, like, even that has the adverse effect on him. Let alone the connection between them. But that is... I guess that enhances that as well. And the fact that Shiki was able to look in on him, even though we see Shiki suffering all the time for it. It's cool to see how personally Roa Shiki is just... Especially when he's personally motivated, it's like such a... just a sad sight. Clear holiday afternoon. I told Hisui to go shopping. That said, fuck him for killing Akiha. He didn't intend to, but still, it would be fuck him if he was gonna kill Kohaku as well. Doesn't excuse like what he's doing, but he's just so pitiable. Told Hisui to go shopping. I asked her for a lot, so she shouldn't be back until evening. The only ones in the mansion are me and her. I leave in her room a note that says I want to talk to her. It's almost the promised time. I have to go to that place. The promised time. When I get there, she is already there, waiting for me. Lovely weather, isn't it, Shiki-san? I nod. He smiles cheerfully at me. You realized it, didn't you, Shiki-san? I nod. Her smile does not fade. Always, her smile does not go away no matter what happens. Truly the saddest smile. Come to think of it, the expressionless Hisui actually showed a lot of different feelings. From the outside, she appeared to be a heartless doll, but her heart was not a doll's. However, what about this girl? The always ever smiling Kohaku. No matter what happens, always a smile like a person with the heart of a doll. Even when Akiha died, that smile did not fade. Her smile that is just like a mask. Totally. That is so, like... It was jarring. After Akiha died, like how she was just standing there with her, like, neutral expression with the blood splattered all over her. Does it make sense, dude? All the horrible shit that happened to her, even when she was writing help me, help me, help me, help me countless times until she finally, just through, because like as a human you adapt. So she just completely disassociated from being like a living being and had to look at herself as a doll to maintain even a fucking shred of sanity. Because holy shit, honestly, Makihisa, rot in fucking hell. I know you're a fictional character, but rot in fucking hell. Like, yo, I cannot state that enough. I'm just... And yeah, there was so much of great stuff of Kohaku, even with this being Hisui's route. Because I guess inherently just the two of them are just so tied to their own past, and it's just, we gotta go through it all over again with Kohaku's route. God damn. Hisui's an absolute sweetheart. I love her. I love that she's, even in all the routes, she's always like cared for Shiki, but to realize like she was the cheerful girl. She was the one that would play with them, and then there's the ribbon. Oh my god, the fucking ribbon. Whew, okay. Even when yep, that smile. Kohaku-san, you're the one who made Shiki go crazy, right? Yes. And the reason you were sharing your blood with Akiha was to make her not human? Yes. And you lied to Shiki and made him attack innocent people? Yes. Wait, what? Right, because yo, when Roa Shiki was like, okay, because I almost mentioned this, but I thought it was going to sound stupid. But when he said, like, you look nothing like how I heard, who else would she hear about Shiki from? How about the person he had at the school? The doll that he was violating, which is such a way too casual way to say what was actually going on. But wait, Kohaku herself was like actively influencing shit? What the fuck? When we were small, the one who was watching us from a distance wasn't Hisui, it was you, Kohaku. Yes. Back then you intentionally distracted Akiha. Yes. Wait, what? You intentionally distracted her then? Like when she turned in and Akiha turned? Oh my god. Then you suggested that I kill Shiki. Yes. All of it is how you planned it out, Kohaku? Still smiling, she nods. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, and there's the sprite. That's right. All of it was something I wish would happen, Shiki-san. What? Still she smiles. I feel a chill and unknowingly take a step back. Why did you do these things? Oh my. You know already. There are only one or two reasons why I would do all of this. Revenge. I think that's it. For the sake of revenge, I decided that every one of the Tonos should die. Revenge? Is it because, like me, you had your parents killed by Tono Makihisa? Oh, don't be silly. Hisui-chan and I were orphans. You don't even know what our parents look like. So why? Who knows? I don't even remember how I felt back then. All I know is the reason. My mind is exploding right now. Wait, she was instrumental? Wait, going as far back as like that incident back then? Reason? What reason? Let's see, such as getting abused by Makihisa-sama? That is the reason why Hisui-chan and I were adopted in the first place. In order to stay human, he needed our abilities as synchronizers. Shiki-san, you've done it with Hisui-chan, right? It is said that sexual intercourse is the best way to share energy. I knew that already. Please don't just And that means, in other words, don't fuck. Oh my god. Makihisa-sama was really pushed to his limits. I think he was too desperate to consider my age. I was chosen first for a simple reason. He probably thought that since I wasn't talkative and was quiet, I wouldn't resist like the energetic Hisui-chan would have. That was why. Even now, her smile does not fade. Akihisa-sama wasn't really a bad person. No, he's an awful fucking person. Only sometimes he would turn violent because of his tonal blood. So for those times, he had me ready in his room, and he let those feelings out on me. I guess it is called sexual abuse. Yeah, that's what the fuck it's called. Oh my god, but I don't really remember much of it. It was just like a daily routine for him to want me, so if I tried to remember something like that, my brain would explode, wouldn't it? I can't play this. The implication was there. Like when it was brought up last time, and it was like pretty much confirming it. I was like, oh my god, Akihisa is really the lowest low of fucking humans. Like honestly, the lowest, the low of fucking humanity to do some shit like that. Honestly, rotten fucking hell, dude. But the most heartbreaking thing is the way she had to. Oh my god, like the fact that it was normalized for her. That she had to look at herself as a doll, to not go crazy, to completely disassociate from her feelings, because it was so routine, to smile in the face of the worst shit ever because she was subjected to it. But to hear her talk about it, to read what she has to say about it, it's too much. It almost makes me just want to like not even read it out loud. This route has been so fucking uncomfortable. There's a lot of stuff throughout Tsukihime that is super uncomfortable, of course, because these themes have been like hero terms of like, but this is the most egregious example. This is absolutely horribly twisted. I cannot. Oh, but I remember clearly the first time it happened. It was on my 8th birthday. Isa-sama said, I can't read this. I'm sorry, I can't. If she is having fun, she gives her usual laugh. My god. She did bite the bullet for Hisui. Wow. Shit is nauseating, dude. Scared of me? Yes. The way you played innocently was like a different world to me. I looked out the window to see all of you play when Makihisa-sama wasn't looking. I didn't understand any of that. Didn't understand why you did those pointless things. It was strange for me to think so since it was just another world and I couldn't be involved in it. I wasn't jealous of you and I didn't hate the Tono children. All I did was stare at all of you while having this unknown feeling. But I was afraid that feeling would turn me back into a human. Fuck. 2 years later, you were killed by Shiki-sama. Probably don't remember it, but Shiki-sama was trying to kill Akiha-sama. But you suddenly came and you shielded Akiha-sama. You weren't related to her and you had everything stolen from you by the Tono family, but you still died protecting her. At that time, I was watching Akiha-sama, who was holding onto her dead body painfully but happily. Oh, maybe I made up my mind back then that it would suit Akiha-sama for her to die just like you did. What? Wait, Shiki-san? You want to know the reason? You have to be patient. I stopped my rush towards her. Days later, you were brought back to the mansion and you were going to be adopted by the Arimas. That was really a secret, but I overheard it from Makihisa-sama. That's how I knew you would be leaving. I didn't have time to tell Akiha-sama or Hisui-chan. When I thought that I couldn't see that boy again without even getting to talk to him, my legs strangely moved, and I ran down the hallway and found him, but I couldn't think of anything to say. It was her ribbon. So I gave him my ribbon, the only thing that I owned. I heard that the Tono family members were going to terminate Shiki-sama soon after that. Makihisa-sama didn't want to kill his own son, so he secretly locked him away underground. He said Shiki-sama would return to normal and asked me to take care of him. When it said he had a servant take care of him, I knew exactly who it was talking about. Just cause this world is that fucking cruel. Oh, of course, that's how it was. So that dream was real. It wasn't that I wanted to abuse Hisui or Kohaku-san. That was in reality. Shiki did that to her. After getting some freedom from Makihisa-sama, I became a little happy. But it was the same. Shiki-sama was just like his father and only used me to let out his feelings. I think that had to have been what destroyed my last emotions. I desperately thought about how I could break free from everything, and I easily came up with a solution. The whole Tono family just had to disappear. If not only Makihisa-sama but Shiki-sama did those painful things, then that's the only possible thing to do, right? When I realized it, I laughed for the first time in years. I was surprised that it was so simple, and I didn't even realize it before. I just want to point out I still feel fucking sick. I'm like hunched over. Like in the last part, I felt just the pit in my stomach at the implication. But to have it like confirmed and for her to like talk about everything, I just feel fucking sick. From that time, I was able to start moving on my own. The hardest thing for me was to find a reason to move. A doll can't move by itself. Without a spring or strings, it can't act like a human. So once I found a reason, everything became simple.
All I needed to do was to place mistrust between them by making Shiki-sama reject Makihisa-sama. Shiki-sama said that he wanted to drink blood, so I gave him mine and told him that he wasn't a bad person, and I kept him the way he was. Shiki-sama became sick. I took care to make special medicine for him. Oh, it's the same as the one I gave you. You know those morning glories in the garden behind the mansion? They are called chosen morning glories and have 3 kinds of mental effects. In simple terms, it's a drug that makes people hallucinate. Once they are unconscious, they listen to what I tell them, and when they wake up, they don't remember a thing.
Oh my god.
Quite convenient, don't you think?
Wait, so that's how she manipulated Roashiki?
And then she did it to our Shiki too, oh my god. Because I was educated to become Makihisa's personal doctor, I know a lot about these sorts of things. With things like that, Shiki-sama went crazy at my convenience. After that, it was even easier. I secretly told Akiha-sama to look inside Makihisa-sama's room around midnight, and she finally found out about our relationship.
Oh my god.
Since then, Akiha-sama felt guilty, and it became easier to do a lot of things. Well, I didn't expect her to protest against him right away, though. But because Akiha-sama pressed the issue, I was released from Makihisa-sama soon after.
Again, respect to Akiha for putting a stop to that shit immediately. But oh my god, Kohaku. This whole thing, this plan to get Shiki to go crazy, to instrument a situation where Akiha would die. And Makihisa as well. Oh my god. I thought that I wouldn't be free until Shiki-sama killed Makihisa-sama, but I was freed 4 years earlier, actually. From then on, I became a normal servant and traded places with Hisui, who became silent. And that's when the switch happened. Oh, but don't worry, since I was the one who took care of Shiki-sama and Makihisa-sama. Hisui-chan was always clean of everything. She did that as the big sister. Oh my god. So when Hisui was like not really knowing the full scope of what's going on, but wanting to understand Kohaku's feelings. Smiling, she ends her story. I don't know what to say. Even if Tono Makihisa was the main cause, the one who wished it to turn out this way and made it turn out this way is the girl before me.
But Shiki-san, I didn't hate Akiha-sama or Shiki-sama. I didn't even want to do it. Those are my true feelings.
How can she say that now?
But there wasn't anything else I could do. Without a purpose like that, I couldn't live. A doll cannot move on its own. Without anything to guide it, it can't move. But still, that is unforgivable. There wasn't anything I ever wished from my heart. But it's strange. Everyone seriously accepts what I say. Just the words of a 10-year-old child can manipulate their feelings. Are coincidences scary?
Kohaku giggles. Are you satisfied, Kohaku?
I don't know. I'm merely a doll that doesn't feel happiness or sadness.
I thought she'd say that. Before me is a human that is a doll. A girl whose emotions were exhausted so long ago. Nothing remains. Telling herself that she is a doll that doesn't feel any pain. More than half of her really believes it. That's why injuries don't hurt her. Shiki and Akiha died, but she doesn't feel happy or sad. She is just an empty shell manipulated by strings.
But, But there was just one strange thing.
Oh, this is a new sprite. Really, just a little bit. You see what I gotta distract myself with? You said that as her eyes trailed off into the distance.
Akiha-sama protected me in the end. I knew there was a 50-50 chance she would do that. I stayed close to her for that reason. Revealing Makihisa-sama's abuse and devotedly helping Akiha-sama, who was slowly turning non-human. Yes, that's right. Really, I knew she would die protecting me.
That smile. Even though she is smiling, she looks really sad as if she's...
But I was really surprised at the time. Why is she protecting me? Why is she protecting me, risking her life?
It looks like she might burst into tears. Oh. I so don't know how to feel right now. I am parts disgusted, parts in shock, parts deeply sad for her. I just... other parts angry. It... Because she is so understandable. But holy shit, all of this, like goading on Shiki, manipulating him, like drugging him and manipulating him unconsciously to kill people and to...
I still don't actually understand if I was actually happy or sad when Akiha-sama died. But when I wake up in the morning, I take tea to her room even though I know she is gone. Isn't this strange? Even though there's no one in that room anymore?
He takes something out. Sound of moving cloth. Holding something long wrapped in cloth, she aims for her chest. Wait, what? Shining blade reflects the sunlight. Is she committing seppuku? Go! I run, but she is much faster. Small sound. She collapses to the ground. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stabs herself and falls to the ground. Even though I ran, it's already too late. This pierced her heart. My mind reels. Without reason. But why? I hold her in my arms. Fresh blood blossoms from her chest like a flower. The smile still does not fade. On the contrary, it seems indescribably pitiful. Hang in there.
Why? Why did you do that? Because revenge was the only thing I could do. I can only disappear when it's all over. I tried to find new springs, but I could never find one, and time ran out.
Is her route, in her route, are we gonna give her new springs? A reason to live and to move even though she feels like a doll? She smiles. That for no reason at all. What the hell is that? What are you saying? I look at the wound like I did to Akiha. Won't make it. This pierced her heart. Why? There's no reason, I just can't bear the sadness. He's looking up to the blue sky with thinned eyes. Under the tree in the courtyard. 8 years ago when I was leaving this mansion, the place where the girl who was just looking out the window gave me a ribbon as a present. This is where we promised to meet again, under this big tree. Oh, that's right. Oh my god. That ribbon.
It was my favorite. Oh, that ribbon. It was my favorite.
He speaks lightly.
Why I asked you to return it when we met again. You didn't keep your promise, Shiki-san.
But that... I was mistaken and I thought it was Hisui's. Oh my god. Still don't know how to feel. I just know when we do her route, we're gonna return that fucking ribbon. If Akiha can live somehow and her revenge plan doesn't go through, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how to fucking feel, dude. I really don't.
I made a little bet with myself that if that boy noticed that I switched places with Hisui-chan, then I would quit everything.
Whoa. What? What is that? Are you trying to make me responsible for it at the end? As I shout, my hand desperately tries to stop her bleeding. But death truly is miserable.
Ruthless and accurate without even a delay or the failure of a single second. The clock of her life counts down to 0. Damn it, don't be ridiculous. What the hell do you mean you made a bet? Because of you, Akiha was. I frantically try to stop the bleeding. Sad without a reason. Tears flow from my eyes. Huh? You're crying, Shiki-san. Well, excuse me. Damn it. I know it's your fault. Damn it, so why do I? I'm with you, bro. That's right. Kohaku, I still don't want you to die. Damn it. Tears flow down. She smiles again. Shiki-san, you are too kind. But please don't worry about it. I'm just a doll, so I don't feel pain or fear. That again, why do you? But it is much easier this way. Being a human, everything is painful and it hurts too much. No one saved me. Couldn't escape. She exhales slightly. She closes her eyes and remembers. I just remembered something. It was when I was a child. I was scared and hurt, but more scared of dying. Kono Makihisa was huge, like a demon out of a storybook. The mansion was too big, like a haunted house. Every day was cold, and it was my daily routine to cry and scream. But if I raised my voice, it got worse, so I had to endure it all. But my sister was playing outside. She was laughing under the sun by easily jumping out the window of the haunted house where I could not get out, no matter how much I wished for it. Come to think of it, everything was sad. That's why I wanted to become a doll that didn't feel pain. The bleeding doesn't stop. With her eyes still closed, she remembers a childhood filled only with pain. I don't like pain. That's why I thought it would be better to become a doll. Kohaku? Gradually, my body stopped generating a pulse. Blood vessels turned into tubes one by one, just like she wrote in her diary. Blood vanished like vapor. My heart, everything, just crafted parts. If I did that, there would be no more pain, right? What? Can't say anything. A girl who thought she was a doll. A girl who couldn't live without thinking that she was a doll. Kohaku had no other means of salvation but to maintain an illusion that she really was a doll. That's why, even if you are this kind, there's no need for tears. Just a doll breaking. Kohaku still keeps her eyes closed. No, that is wrong. I grasp her hand and shake my head in refusal. No, Kohaku, you are human. Can't be a doll. Kohaku, you're alive. You're a living human being. As proof, you are bleeding red blood right now. Ah, that's right. He laughs again. Right. You're a normal girl who liked Akiha, was always worried about Hisui and laughed when we talked about stupid things. So, even if she wished it and caused the deaths of Akiha and Shiki, Kohaku, there was no reason for you to die. Increasing my grip, I say these words from the bottom of my heart. Shiki-san, you are just the boy I thought you would be. I finally got to speak to you. Oh my god. Her heartbeat. Her heartbeat surges like it is the grand finale. Her chest rises and falls. Her closed eyes open. At the very end, she looks at the deep, distant blue sky. I see. I guess it was only an illusion after all. Fuck, dude. Coughs up blood. It hurts. He whispers softly. That's it right there. That's why I wanted to be a doll. Then she passes away. The hollow eyes endlessly look into the blue sky. Not a fake smile, but a quiet and very sad face.
The girl who pretended to be a doll. In the end, it still hurt, of course. It always did, but it was literally her only salvation. I still don't know how to fucking feel, dude. Oh my god, she orchestrated so much. I can't blame her, of course. I can't blame her. It's awful what she did. But I can't even quantify her suffering, dude. I can't. Like, who am I? Who am I to say? I just... This was not the game I thought I was playing when I first started. That is truly the sickest shit I have ever experienced in a game. In my entire life, I have never endured anything that disturbing. It's just everything together. I mean, it reminds me of Sakura. And that too was fucking awful. Absolutely disgusting. But all of this together here is like that this was just here under the surface of this game the whole time. I went 3 routes without knowing this shit. Leaving my room, I head towards the gate. Because now, okay, let me get this off me real quick. I can't, but let me just, okay. I gotta let that sit, otherwise I'm just gonna be sitting here in silence for like, who knows how long. Okay. Okay, so, what's gonna happen here with Hisui? This is still her route. I haven't gotten a choice in a long time. We're in the epilogue. Whatever is about to happen here, either it's already been determined or it's about to be. Nausea hasn't left. Leaving my room, I head towards the gate. After a quiet meal together, we leave the garden behind. Please be careful, Shiki-sama. It has become cold recently, so do not strain yourself. Yeah, don't strain yourself either, Hisui. Taking my bag from Hisui, I turn my back to the mansion. The road is long, as if it goes on forever. A gently sloping road in the blue sky that might suck me in. I see an illusion. The road like a ladder heading to the sky, trying to reach the clear blue sky. I see that, and for no reason, I remember that sorrowful affair. Hisui. Yes. What is it, Shiki-sama? Tomorrow is the start of winter break, right? I'll come straight home, so how about we go to town? I have something I want to talk about, too. Huh? The town? Yeah. Since it is winter vacation, let's take a trip somewhere. Oh, right. I remember this. You were talking about this. I think I even joked, like, yeah, we're taking a winter vacation in the epilogue. I don't know where yet, so I was thinking of letting you decide. Hisui stands there in silence. That's right. Hisui doesn't leave the mansion for herself. Kohaku-san was always the one to take care of things outside, so Hisui never left for 8 years. Isn't that I don't like that fact. Only it's just that I wanted to go somewhere new with Hisui and wanted to increase our fun memories so we won't lose against all the sad memories. What do you think? If you don't want to, I don't mind either way.
No, if I get to be with you, it would make me very happy. I will look forward to it.
See, then I'll be back before noon. Just be waiting in some regular clothes. We'll figure out what to do, and maybe a terrible guy might come along too, but we'll deal with it then if it happens. Arihiko. Hisui tilts her head questioningly, but agrees. When I go to school, I will end up asking for suggestions from Arihiko, but considering him, he will want to come along. Well, that's that. I haven't decided if I need to go to the bathroom or not. I don't know if I need to throw up or not. I honestly don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm okay, but just like a lingering. Well, that's that. I can ask his sister to come along too, and going with a lot of people might not be bad either. Well, I'm off. Thanks for sending me off, Hisui. Saying that, I run down the hill. The road is long and continues into the town. I run under the clear blue sky and feel the warmth of Hisui's gaze on my back. And I see him off. Daily task done, I close the gate. Oh, we're Hisui now.
The only one left in the mansion is me. Nesan and Akiha-sama are no longer here. It seems that no new servants or masters will be coming. His sister left him this mansion and some money. Since the money that is used to maintain this place will be paid by the members of the Branch Tono family, it seems we will not have to leave here anytime soon. Once vacation starts, do you want to take a trip? I decided to nod to those words. Ever since that day, I forbade myself from leaving this mansion. Ever since I found out Makihisa-sama was using Nesan like that in my place, I hated going outside. Isn't it natural? Nesan did that so I would stay clean. So I had to stay clean no matter what. I would not let any male touch me.
There it is, okay. Okay.
I would never touch the fingers of the gender that used my sister like that. I thought it would be better if I was just like a machine. If I went outside, I would get dirty, so it would be better if I stayed inside. If I locked myself away in the sterile mansion, I would never become dirty. Because Nesan protected me. I thought the only thing I could do was become like a doll, staying pretty forever. But I will end that, will I not? I'm thinking of going outside, Nesan. Once it gets close to noon, I change my clothes. It's been years since I last wore my own clothes. Pushing my hands through the sleeves, I am amazed at how light it is. That maid uniform I got used to so much compared to these light regular clothes is really heavy. The wind blows. The hair ribbon that was in my hand flies off. It is white. It was a lone memory that a girl gave to him a long time ago.
Right, because Shiki gave it to Hisui and she's held on to it. The ribbon flies up and up, riding the wind as if it was never there before it vanishes into the forest. Bidding?
Wait, that was... I try to chase after it and I stop. That was the girl's ribbon. It is not mine, so I guess I have to at least give that back to her. In my hand I hold a promise. That awaited promise of the girl who gave that ribbon still lives inside of me. So, just that ribbon, at least. I think it tried to return to the place the girl dreamed of. Promises are fulfilled. If you thought I was that girl, then I will have to fulfill her dream. Oh my god. Like how I love him. That girl had to have always loved him too. Come to think of it, we really were sisters alike each other. Nesan and I traded places, but Nesan really did a perfect job of acting out my part. That carefree smile. Straightforward emotions. That fleeting experience of love with him. Those were all real. Even though it was just an elaborate play, Nessan really did love him when she played my role. She played my part perfectly. She loved him from the bottom of her heart. Long ago, as if watching a dream that girl always wished and waited for. That's why, Nessan. That's why I have to return to myself. I don't think I can do it right away, but I can do it gradually. Maybe I won't be able to behave exactly as I was back then. With all my strength, I must fulfill her dream as I am right now. After the boy left, Nessan acted like me because she wanted to do that. Her dream was always to be Hisui and to love Tonoshiki. So I will grant her dream. For the sake of my childhood dream and for Nessan's dream, I will always, always be by his side. I hear noisy voices in the distance. Seems like he has returned, but it is noisy. He's not alone, but it looks like he brought some friends. Voice calls my name. Checking myself in a reflection off a window, I hurry to the entrance. The sky, the infinite deep blue sky. Hisui greets the long-awaited boy, takes delight in such normal things, and returns a smile. That is something that will continue tirelessly, day after day. A long-awaited peaceful world. I have been waiting for it for so long. Always believing that one day I could be flying freely, I always stood by the window, looking up at the deep sky. That one day wings would sprout from this world. The wings would sprout from this back. Wow. I will smile like Nessan with that boy. This is what the little girl, so long ago, dreamed of. Ben.
Wiping these goosebumps off me, what the fuck? That is the most bittersweet ending, and I loved it. I love how Hisui resolved at the end there as fucking bitter. Oh, it's so fucking bitter. When you consider Kohaku and her feelings, how she wasn't saved and how she went through with this revenge plan after having to completely just kill her own emotions just to keep her sanity from that piece of fucking garbage, Makihisa. And for Hisui, take that dream, the one she had, the one sister had, to double down on that love, to stick by Shiki. Like in honor of that, to keep going. Well, that's one ending. I'll take the lesson. Ciel, I missed you, but the way that played out was so, oh my god.
You have reached Hisui's true ending. Well done. Each heroine, with one exception, has two different kinds of endings. A true ending and a good ending. After reaching one of the endings, please go back a little and re-advance through the story. A different event should await you. Well then, thank you very much for playing up to this point. Let's meet again somewhere in Tsukihime.
Dude, I have no fucking clue. How do I... Midday moon. So we got moon at dawn, daylight blue, sun, warm afternoon nap, and midday moon. Man. Dude, how the fuck do I get the good ending? I need to see what that choice is. Because I can't think of what the branching choice there is. I'm not sure. I don't... Wait, holy shit. Okay, this is an ending where the next one only appears after you've gotten the true ending. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's go back through then. Just zoom through. All right, let me refresh all these things. Oh my god. Okay, let's do it. Skip. Skip. I just have to see what the hell this is, man. Wait. Did I not do this before? Oh my god. I guess that's a thing now. Yeah, okay, that's good to know. Oh my god. And then TV and Kohaku's. Okay, I'm seeing how things are gonna open up to Kohaku's route. Holy fucking shit, okay. And obviously go to sleep. Then we greet both. Sorry for not cutting this out. I'm doing this like live recording wise. And we'll properly talk about the true ending and both endings when we see. I just gotta see what this is about. Okay. Yup. A Hisui, of course. Let's see, Hisui. I imagine those choices might be the same when we get into Kohaku's route. Oh my god. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this. Okay, we're gonna get there. Oh, we have so much to talk about. This is what I picked last time, right? That's how I did it. Lock the door. Oh my god, here it is. Okay. Wait, I know where this is. We're in the hallway. We're in the fucking hallway at school. Where it happens. Oh my god, okay. Chiki lunges with a cry. His black shape explodes forward like a firework. I can't make it from here. If there's anything that would make it, that would be... Damn. Akiha turns towards Shiki. Akiha instantly prepares for his attack. But the black figure isn't going towards Akiha. Shiki lunges not at Akiha, but at Kohaku-san who stands next to her. Kohaku! He knows. Just like I'm able to move right now because of Hisui's power. He knows that Akiha has overwhelming power as possible from Kohaku-san's help. By the way, sorry that this music is playing. It's a glitch that happens whenever I go into a scene and a previous music is playing. It won't change unless there's a change in the music from this scene onward. So I'm sorry about that. I'm okay with it, but I'm sorry if it bothers you. Kohaku-san, get down! I shout. There it is. Like if I knew Shiki was going for Kohaku all along, I shout from the bottom of my lungs. That's almost meta. Oh my god. Kohaku! Akiha throws her body in front of Kohaku. I don't believe it. She's sacrificing her body to protect Kohaku-san? Hee. Shiki raises his voice and with his arm thrusting like a spear, aims for Kohaku's face. Akiha forces herself in between them. Her timing is perfect. I don't want to look. I don't want to see Akiha die as she protects Kohaku-san. No! Right before it all happens, I hear a voice which I've never heard before. Kohaku-san's crying voice. What? No! A sound of rending flesh. Red blood drips down onto the hallway. Eh? Kohaku-san's voice almost sounds absent-minded. He has quickly pushed Akiha away. Oh my god! He pushed Akiha trying to protect her and threw herself in front of Shiki's claws. You! Shiki's voice quivers with anger. Red blood continues to flow forth. No, Akiha, I didn't mean to hurt you. He shakes his head. In front of Shiki, Akiha lies collapsed, her arm coated with blood. Thanks to Kohaku-san pushing her away, it seems only Akiha's arm was shredded by Shiki's claws. Lying on the ground, Akiha writhes in agony, clutching her arm. I was trying to do Akiha's voice. Shiki stands dumbstruck, shaking as he looks down. Kohaku-san, fixated with surprise, stands there unmoving like a doll. You bitch, are you trying to get in my way? Shiki lifts his head. You better calm the fuck down. Kohaku-san is in front of him. Why is it? She's just standing there, not moving a muscle, as if her soul had fled her body. You also get in my way? Shiki howls. Shiki-sama, Hisui's pleading voice. He doesn't even have to tell me. Like Kohaku-san protecting Akiha, this time I'll stop him for sure. Shiki! I've run, my glasses already off. The lines I see are across his neck and from his upper left chest to his stomach. Either one will do. If I work my knife through either one, it will surely kill him. Gripping my knife firmly, I fly down the hallway with a speed that surprises even myself. Shiki turns towards me. But I'm much faster. What? His anguished cry reverberates through the hallway. Yeah. An insane laugh. It was too shallow. How naive. In front of Akiha, I hesitated in cutting her real brother's neck. The line that runs through his body. I was only able to cut it halfway. Laughing wildly, Shiki pulls back. Like that, he escapes towards the stairs. Following him would be easy. But there's something more important for me to do. Akiha! Hang in there, Akiha! Kneeling down, I look over her body. This is terrible. Her right arm is almost split in two and painted an awful crimson. Nisa, why are you here? Her eyes are hazy. Her shallow breathing, her pale face. The figure of death stretches across her body. Why aren't you resting in your room? Don't talk. You can talk about it later. For now, just don't talk. No, I won't. Isan, how long have you in here? It's spreading. With her bleeding, her lines of death spread across her body. It's alright. It's alright. Just be quiet. Please, I beg of you, for now, just calm down, please. Okay, if you say so, then I will be obedient, Isan. With a forced smile, Akiha closes her mouth. No, that... Simply put, she's so weak she can't even speak. No. Wait, I'll stop the bleeding. Taking off my shirt, I wrap it around her arm. Damn, this is useless. Shit. The bleeding doesn't stop, she'll die. Why doesn't... I frantically tie it around her arm. I know that it will not help her at all, but I can't think of anything else to do. I know that I'm starting to go crazy, but I still cannot calm myself. Shiki-sama, please calm down. If you tie it any tighter, it will not help her. Hisui, but it's alright. Akiha-sama will not die. If Nesan is here, Akiha-sama will heal. Nesan, is that not right? Hisui pulls Kohaku-san, who's still standing like a motionless doll, and sits her next to Akiha. Nesan, for now, please synchronize with Akiha-sama. You destroyed everything because you wanted Akiha-sama saved. Is that not right? Hisui wraps both of her hands around Kohaku-san's white hand. Yo, Kohaku saved Akiha there. But she's not a doll. Like Shiki said, she is a human. She has feelings. So it's okay for her to feel pain, and I want her to fucking cry about this. I want her to just find a shred of catharsis in any of this. But she doesn't get that. It's not given to her in this route. I don't know if it'll be given to her in her route. Apparently her route only has one ending. I don't know what that means or what that implicates, but what implicates there's no other way for things to end, of course, but I'm just so... Oh my god, but Kohaku-san's gaze is still empty. But maybe Hisui's words reach her after all. Akiha's blood stops spilling forth. Then she synchronized and saved her. I relax. With this, I can be assured. The uneasiness that gripped me before, the uneasiness that Akiha would meet the worst fate, starts to gradually disappear. Akiha will be helped by Hisui and Kohaku-san. So, as Tonoshiki, I will have to end this. Hisui, I leave Akiha and Kohaku-san up to you. Shiki-sama, you are still planning to go, are you not? We are the same type, he and I. The least I can do is put him to rest. Hisui wordlessly stares at me. Her eyes beg me not to go, but I can't listen to them. Thanks for everything up until now, Hisui. I'm so glad you were with me. I walk away. Feeling her watch me as I leave, I follow after Shiki. Path of blood continues. Maybe he didn't try to really escape, or maybe he isn't even sane enough to understand what running away means. Shiki is standing in the hallway as if waiting for me. Shiki, I call out. Shiki looks over at me with his unfocused eyes. Ah, you again? Shiki doesn't move. Probably because of the wounds by me and Akiha. Doesn't have a body that can move properly. Shit, I failed again. It won't work out right. Why is everything getting ruined? Won't work, it never works out right. I always mess up. That's strange. Why is she getting in my way? He came just like I was told. So why does he always get in my way? Just like she told you, Shiki was gonna come, but I don't think in this outcome Kohaku expected to do what she did. Of course. Shiki's eyes are just hollow orbs, because yeah, like in the true ending where how she said she was still caught off guard, that Akiha would do that, would try to save her, would value her life. Imagine that. Oh my god. Shiki's eyes are just hollow orbs. Maybe he didn't even see anyone from the very beginning. It was fucked up, because like, clearly she felt a way about it, like this was her plan to get revenge, like all the Tonos to die, Akiha to die, for Makihisa to die, right? For Shiki, like, to manipulate him to carry all this shit out for her plan. But when Akiha did that and then she died, like, fucked her up. She's not just a doll. It's so... Everything is so fucked up, dude. Everything's so fucked up. At least Akiha gets to live here, but I don't know what else this means. But this is the good end, so we'll see. Maybe he didn't even see anyone from the very beginning. He only sees me before him, holding my knife. It's just another obstacle. Shiki, are you in pain? In pain? Me? Why? Shiki laughs as if it is so funny, and slowly stands up. I'm not in any pain. This is a wonderful life. No matter what I do, no one can punish me. Shiki's eyes burn with the desire to kill. It seems he's ready. Underneath the moonlight, even though I've known him for so long, I take my first step towards the enemy I just met tonight. Fine. Let's fight to the death. Let's fight to the death. All those who get in my way are my enemy. I'll kill you all. You, Akiha, Kohaku. Just like that old man who wanted to lock me up till I died, I'll kill you all. I hate how this game makes me overthink. You, Akiha, Kohaku. Like, not Hisui, but Shiki twice. What do you mean, dude? I'm not gonna overthink it. Shiki screams like a raving lunatic. Maybe because that figure looks terribly pitiful. Even though this is a fight to the death, I remain cool and collected like ice. I mean, it's more likely he just repeated it for effect because Shiki is the main one, but Shiki attacks me head on. It's nothing difficult. Like I'm cutting meat on a plate, I easily slice through Tonoshiki. Thud. Shiki's head falls to the floor. His powerless body falls against mine. Oh my god. I don't feel anything. I don't feel regret, pain, hatred, or disgust. Like Kohaku-san was earlier, I just stand like a doll. An unbelievable laughing voice. Shiki's laughing head rolls on the ground. Yikes. You're wonderful. This is the first time I felt this cold pain. What a superb hinderer you are. Still laughing, his face dissolves into ash. Gradually it disappears into the wind. Shiki is disappearing. Before he does, he looks up at me and curiously says, "So who are you, anyway?" Eh? Who are you? You don't know? The Tonoshiki you were always targeting. Ah, I see. You're Shiki. His disappearing face. What's this? You look nothing like what I heard. That's such a what a last line. And the implications with Kohaku and everything that led to the true ending. With that, he completely disappears. It's over. With this, it's over. I don't feel anything. I won't feel those splitting headaches. I can return to life as normal, but I don't feel happy. And this is what ended. Why? I feel dizzy. Shiki's last words won't fade away. Something did end, but I don't know what ended or in the beginning what I was trying to end. I look up at the moon. In the vague darkness, my heart is enthralled. Until Hisui came, I just stood in dumb amazement, standing in the moonlight. Dreams of Sunshine, an epilogue. Alright, so Akiha's alive. That's nice. It's very nice. I didn't want her to die, of course. Holy shit. Thank goodness she's alive. But what is Kohaku going to do? Because in this ending, she has that moment of realizing, like, being caught off guard by Akiha protecting her life. Like, she knew it was a 50-50 chance she would do it. But when it actually happened, like, questioning, like, why would she try to save my life? Why would she do that for me, you know? It's a heartbreaking thought. But she gets to have that thought, plus Akiha lives, so is she just gonna let go of her goal to have Akiha die? Is she just gonna continue living too? The next week passed quickly. Shiki's body vanished without a trace, and the wound in Akiha's arm was treated. Even though my place as Tonoshiki became vague, I can't go back to being Nanaya Shiki. I don't know if she understands my feelings or not about it, but Akiha hasn't said one word about that night. If Akiha, the head of the household, is going to play dumb, then I think I can continue my life as Tonoshiki. The peaceful days have returned. Since Shiki disappeared, all my strength returned, and Akiha is healing well too. Kohaku-san and Hisui go back to their regular duties at the mansion, and there isn't a trace of uneasiness. I want to believe that there isn't. And so,
Nissan? It's noon already. Nissan.
Hear a voice.
Geez, even though it's so nice outside, please do not sleep in such a place. If you want to take a nap, do so in your room.
Fingers tap my shoulder. With that, I wake from my dream. Well, this is nice. Let me distract myself from the bombshell of the true ending and all the realizations of Kohaku, and it was a beautiful ending for Hisui, of course. Her true ending is such a bittersweet, beautiful ending for her to just carry on for the sake of like what her sister dreamed of and going through with her own life. Like, it's just but yeah, let me appreciate this. Morning, Akiha.
Don't say morning, coming to the sitting room only to sleep. Just what were you thinking, Nissan?
Well, I was thinking about this and that. Giving a deep sigh, I get up from the sofa.
Wait a minute, Nissan. Are you going to actually go sleep in your room? Hey, don't you think you should actually do something worthwhile on your day off? To give you examples like going out to deepen bonds with family members or invite them to have fun out of gratitude?
I think what Akiha says is worthwhile is very limited. Well, I do think so. It's just that what you think is worthwhile is different from what I think is worthwhile. Sleeping twice would just be a waste. The reason why I want to go to my room is simple. It takes a lot of effort to face you right after waking up, so I thought I'd refresh my head in my own room. Wow.
What is that supposed to mean, Nissan?
Nothing, I just can't answer to all your little scolding when my head's still dozy. So I'm just going to my territory to regroup, that's all. We can talk more during lunch. Waving, I turn away. Akiha watches me silently, but her face tells me she wants to complain. Looks like I will have to be ready during lunchtime. Come to my room. While I was dozing in the sitting room, it looks like Hisui cleaned my room. But this really is a dull room if I have to say it myself. Other than a bed and a desk, the room is completely empty. It's close to winter, so I should probably get some heating equipment. Akiha's pretty noisy about it, but I never feel like using the fireplace. Oh my god, since we're all here, can we all go on the winter trip together? Winter vacation? Akiha's pretty noisy about it, but I never feel like using the fireplace. What's this on the desk? A letter I don't remember about is placed there. Wait. Curious, so I open it up. The letter just says, I am waiting underneath that tree. Oh my god, is this still happening even in this ending? Why? Saying that, I crumple the paper. Opening the drawer, I put the knife with the engraving Nanatsu Yoru in my pocket. Can't pretend like I didn't see it. Taking a deep breath to compose myself, I leave my room. I don't know when I realized it. It all started when I thought that everything turned out pretty conveniently. The happenstances and circumstances surrounding the connection between Shiki and I were too convenient. Shiki had his lair at my school, but he never attacked me, his most hated enemy. If Shiki had ever felt like it, I probably would have been killed a long time ago. I could only think that things ended this way because someone readied a convenient plot. Because that's a good point. Right? I think I even mentioned that before. Like, there was a bunch of times where Shiki was retching in the school and he's like, I'm gonna come for you, Shiki. And then he never came. And I was like, oh, he's gonna come soon. And then he didn't. It's cause, yeah. When I get there, she is waiting with her usual smile. You're late, Shiki-san. I've been waiting since morning, but it's noon already. Yeah, sorry. I fell asleep in the sitting room and just got back to my room. Ah, I see. By the way, I'm not gonna try to read this again. I'm just gonna... I see, I messed up. I knew I should have told you directly. That may be true, I nod. He smiles at me. But it is good you came. Now we can talk, just the two of us. Well, this conversation might go quite differently. She smiles happily. With a smile on her face, she begins to speak like it's nothing.
You realized it, didn't you, Shiki-san?
I can't nod or shake my head.
I knew it, she laughs. Shiki-san, I was the one who made Shiki-sama like that. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. That I gave Akiha-sama my blood so that she would turn more into one of the Tono blood. But that I was the one that gave Shiki-sama wrong information and made him attack innocent people.
Dude, right, beginning of the route when Roshiki was going around. Like, that's Akiha. Killing. Wait, that's not Akiha. Oh my god. But the fact that she says I gave Akiha some of my blood so that she would turn more of the Tono blood, meaning that she wasn't synchronizing in Akiha's favor. Like she was intentionally doing the opposite, I guess. I didn't want her to say it.
When we were small, the one who was always watching from the distance wasn't Hisui, it was me.
Kohaku-san.
Back then, I intentionally distracted Akiha-sama so that Shiki-sama could have an opening.
Kohaku.
But I really messed up. Akiha-sama and Shiki-sama were both supposed to die there.
Kohaku. Looking down, all I could do is shout her name.
It's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Shiki-san?
It's fine. All of it is over, so I don't want to hear that kind of story. Those words are truly how I feel. Such a reality, it is better if I don't realize it. More than you know, bro. More than you know. Kohaku-san can just be Kohaku-san. Always smiling, thinking of Hisui dearly, being such good friends with Akiha, and laughing when we talk about stupid things. I wanted Kohaku-san to stay like that. I don't care about all that. You can just be here and it'll be fine. He doesn't answer. A long, painful silence.
No, that won't do, Shiki-san. What I did can't be ignored like that. I failed. I have lost the reason that moved me these past years, so this Kohaku will just disappear. No, she's still gonna do it.
What? I lift my head. Over there. She looks like she always does.
But I thought you had the right to blame me. You are the only one who is not connected with the Tono house. I used you in my plot against Akiha-sama and Shiki-sama. So if you wish to blame me, you can do whatever you like.
The right. No one has the right to blame you, Kohaku-san. That's right. Ever since she was a small child and came to this mansion, she had to receive all the crimes of Tono Makihisa. She could not ask for help. Nobody helped her. She lived that life for years, then that's... If you want to talk about rights, you had to have every right to take revenge. I agree. I can only imagine what happened to you, but you only could hold nothing but a grudge against the Tono family. I know that I'm just sounding clever, but I say those unsatisfactory lies.
No, I didn't have a grudge against Makihisa-sama or Akiha-sama at all. So what I did wasn't revenge. I just thought that that was what a human would have done. Only for my sake, I put Makihisa-sama and Shiki-sama in a trap and tried to get Akiha-sama dead too. That was all I had. There really weren't any feelings behind it.
Smile does not fade. But that's a lie. If that's true, then I would have hated her from the bottom of my heart. No, that's wrong. Kohaku-san, you just want to think that. If that was true, then why did you protect Akiha? Kohaku-san, you had emotions. She has emotions. You liked Akiha, so you destroyed your own plan yourself. Oh. That's right. For just an instant, she lowers her glance just a little bit and smiles again.
That's right. I destroyed my own plan. Really, Shiki-sama should have killed me back then. I made it so that only one of us would stay alive after that. But why did we both end up surviving?
She seemed troubled as she says this, as her smile returns. That's simple. It's because you wanted Akiha to live and you wanted to stay alive too. Then everything's alright. Even though you planned it all, I'm happy. Akiha's still alive and you're still alive. That makes me really happy. Is that not enough for you, Kohaku-san? Tears come out as I say so. Can't stop my feelings, which are more full of regret than pity. I already understand. that this person will not return. Since then, from the time she protected Akiha, he became broken and couldn't come back. I understand that too well.
Shiki-san, are you crying? That's stupid, crying over a doll in a play that broke. Yes, it really is stupid. Oh, hey, Shiki-san. I said that I didn't hate anyone, but there's one person I hated. You understand, right? I think I hated you. Oh, fuck. Because if you weren't there, I could have just stared out the window without even thinking.
That's right. He was reminded of her despair when he looked at her. Smiling, she turns away. Her sleeves flutter like butterfly wings. My legs want to dash forward, but I can't move. Even one step. I feel that if I move one step towards her, something will happen that I can't take back.
You are the only one I hated. Everyone else I neither liked nor hated. I lost those emotions. So, saving Akiha-sama was only an accident.
Her figure starts to become hazy. Oh, Kohaku. Kohaku-san. I have a bad feeling about this. Can't place it, but I have a terrible feeling. Then,
Ne-san.
a voice calling for her echoes through the air. Hisui?
Hisui-chan.
Our voices overlap. Gasping for breath, Hisui looks directly at her. Let's go, Hisui.
Hisui-chan, why?
Voice is shaking. Taking it, she looks sharply at her.
Lies.
With a short, strong voice, Hisui says so. You didn't hate Shiki?
Everything you say are lies, Ne-san.
She's not just lying to Shiki, she's lying to herself.
You saved Akiha-sama back then because you like her, and I know you can't hate Shiki-sama.
Exactly. I hear a sharp gasp. Still turned around, she looks extremely frightened.
Is that not right? You played my role so you cannot hate Shiki-sama. You played the role of Hisui from back then. So you loved Shiki-sama and tried to protect Akiha-sama. You're not an empty human like you think you are.
Hisui's voice hangs in the air. Kohaku doesn't turn back and just answers.
No. Jeez, if you had never slept in the sitting room, then Hisui-chan never would have noticed us.
Thank you, good ending.
Shiki-san, you really do throw all my plans into disarray.
Still facing the other way, she laughs. She holds up a finger to her mouth. Gulp. Wait, what? Hear the sound of something being swallowed. What? I run, but I don't make it in time. Before I can reach her, she collapses to the ground, coughing up blood. What the fuck did she swallow?
Just poison herself?
Thud. A hard, sickening noise. Still smiling, she drips red blood from her mouth.
Ne-san.
Hisui holds her. But that, no matter who looks at it, it is already too late. Oh my god.
Oh, this is the good ending? What the fuck? No, Ne-san, Ne-san, Ne-san.
Cradling the unmoving girl's head, Hisui frantically calls out. Seems her feelings overflow like the blood pouring from Kohaku's mouth. Her mouth opens and closes over and over. I'm pissed that Tsukihime didn't get a good anime adaptation. I've never seen it, but everyone unanimously pretends it doesn't exist. Even as we speak, there are people in the comments saying, what Tsukihime anime? But seriously, what a crime that this doesn't have a proper anime adaptation. What a fucking crime. It's great that I get to enjoy the visual novel, as I'm sure like anything, like especially a visual novel being adapted, we know very well with Stay Night, and I'm sure other works, but you do lose a lot of the original like sentiment and information and just feel in general. But goddamn, that would have been so awesome, dude. Fuck. I want fucking 5 5 anime adaptations for Tsukihime. Give me that shit, dude. One for each route. Ufotable, get on that. Yo, dude. Nessan? Nessan, hold on. A desperate cry. Seeing that, the girl smiles like a child. Huh? Huh? Don't do that, Hisui-chan. Crying like that, it feels like back then. What, Nessan? Why? Yeah, because if I don't do so, won't be able to return to the way you were. That's why? Her words in pieces, and with glazed eyes she speaks to Hisui. Nessan. Hisui's face contorts in grief. Her tears flood her face. Why? That's fine. I was okay with the way I was. If you were happy, then I was happy. I was always protected by you, so I was always happy. Painfully, she swallows her last words. Why? Should have stayed like Hisui, Nessan. Like Hisui, the one you admired long ago, so why? Why are you returning it to me now? A tear falls. Maybe Hisui's tears caused that. He nods quietly. That's right. I really had fun. It was all just an act, but it was really fun, Hisui-chan. So I hoped, Hisui-chan, you were having fun, too. Her blood drips out. As she speaks, blood dribbles out of her mouth. Nessan, hang on, Nessan. This can't be. Why do you have to die, Nessan? There's no reason for you to die, Nessan. Hisui's voice can no longer reach her. Her chest rising and falling. She just looks up at the deep, deep blue sky. It's pretty. Could never go outside, but I always remembered the color of the sky. Nessan, Nessan. Just those little things were my days. Hisui-chan, Shiki-san, and Akiha-sama were there. There was such a pretty sky overhead. Yeah, I can't remember it too well. Those fun things are starting to disappear. Her energy drains away. The remaining light in her eyes is disappearing. That could not let it be. I take out my knife. What? Is he gonna kill the poison inside her? What the fuck is he gonna do? My glasses are already off. All that is left. Shiki-sama, what are... Hisui holds on to me. I'm going to save Kohaku-san. Please be quiet and trust me. He's gonna kill what she swallowed. I pull free and look hard at her body. Just like the time with Yumizuka. That time I found Yumizuka's polluted blood and killed it. So I should be able to kill the poison she drank. Dope. God. The headache gets worse. Feels like someone is stabbing my skull with a knife. It's so bad I went to close my eyes. I guess looking at something wrong in someone else's body is difficult. The pain warns me that this is surpassing the limits of my ability. God, this is... I love that Tono Shiki can do this, because it reminds me of like Ryogi Shiki. But what a feat, man. To kill just something as nuanced as that. Both Shikis are so cool. But let's fucking go. My breathing explodes into harsh gasping. Bubbles escape from my open mouth. My entire world is red. As if all my bodily fluids turn into poison, my body is burning from the inside. Yeah, but still. I stare at it, not caring if I go blind. My senses disassociate. My world becomes a white sheet. As the sound of my blood vessels burning away roars in my ears, I quickly, while I am unable to move, find the poison in her body and kill it. Hell yeah. Huh. First scenery I've seen in a few days is this white examination room. What a tone shift. Is everything okay? All set. It seems like you are fine, Shiki-kun. Wait, I do not see your cloudiness, and your condition should not return. You can go back to your normal life now. The doctor continues scribbling away as he's done these past few days. His face, which I see for the first time, looks somewhat kind. Oh then, take care, but don't strain yourself for a while. You always seem to push yourself too hard. I understand. Thank you so much for your help. Bow with heartfelt thanks, and I stand up from the chair. I go out into the hallway. In the waiting room is Hisui. Not having seen her face in days, I wave to her excitedly. Hisui quickly runs to my side to support me. Oh then, shall we go? We can meet Kohaku-san starting today, right? Hey! Hisui nods. Shiki-sama, is your body really okay? Hisui looks up at me full of worry. Hey, the doctor is a person who can't let unhealed people go free. If I get to leave the hospital, that means I'm fine. I'm used to being in hospitals, so trust me. Yes, that is why I worry. There never was an instance where you would come back from the hospital fully healed. Hisui really talks a lot now. Good. Well, that's the truth, so I can't disagree. Anyway, I finally got those bandages off my eyes. I can see her face and my body is healed, so there's no more problems. Okay, I see. Killing the poison was a very strained action. Come on, let's go see Kohaku-san. Pulling Hisui, who's still wanting to say something, I walk towards Kohaku-san's room. After that, after seeing me plunge my knife into Kohaku-san, Hisui panicked. Wait, what? But after seeing that Kohaku-san's body was not harmed, that her breathing returned after that, seeing me collapsing, Hisui ran to save all of us, even though she was still in a panic. Yeah, if you didn't understand, that'd be pretty shocking. As a result, Kohaku-san was saved. Yay! Fell into a condition where my eyes would not function in addition to the decrease in my physical body strength. Oh, that's really bad. Well, I somehow understood that I went blind. When I stabbed my knife into her body, the only thing I was able to see were those lines. So when I was told I went blind, it didn't shock me that much. Then my sight came back shortly after. Okay. The examination revealed absolutely nothing wrong with my eyes, but only problems with my nerves. Rather than my cut nerves connecting themselves, it seems that it's more like the nerves which were numb healed up. It seems like my eyes will not go blind that easily. Or it might be that even if I do go blind, I'll still see those lines. Crazy. Well, those are trivial matters. The important fact is that Kohaku-san and I were saved. Kohaku-san wasn't fully saved. He was able to recover. But in turn, she lost something. Shiki-sama. Yeah, go ahead. I think it's probably better if you went in first. After answering yes, she knocks on the door. Voice tells us to come in, and we enter the room. Kohaku-san is the only one in the room. She sits up in bed and looks at Hisui and I. Kohaku-san isn't smiling. With uneasy eyes, she looks at her guests. May I please ask who you are? With those words, Hisui's shoulders shake a bit. Huh. We have come to see how you are doing. Please excuse us, Ne-san. Kohaku-san looks at Hisui with surprised eyes after she hears the word Ne-san. Hisui sits down next to Kohaku-san. I don't want to be in the way, so I sit down on a chair by the wall. Kohaku-san looks uneasily back and forth between Hisui's face and mine. I'm sorry. It's a bit strange. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a bit strange. I feel that I do know both of you, but I cannot remember either of you. Her voice sounds very apologetic. This isn't a joke or anything, as she really does mean those words. There's some problem with her memory, clearly. I think I was told so before by Hisui. Kohaku-san was no longer the Kohaku-san from before. No, that's not quite right. The system of the brain can be divided into 4 functions: recording, preserving, playback, and recognition. It seems that Kohaku-san has something wrong with her preserving function. The doctor said that she can return to her normal lifestyle, but she can't remember most of her past. Blessing in disguise? It isn't so much that she can't remember, rather it is more like she lost it. Preservation of her memories up until now, all that information was lost, so there's nothing to remember. So Kohaku-san cannot remember me or Hisui. Having Kohaku-san return to the way she was before really is a hopeless dream. I don't know if it was the near-fatal shock from the poison or if Kohaku-san closed it off herself. But I know that the Kohaku-san has the body and heart she had before, but she has forgotten all about me, Hisui, and Akiha. Kohaku-san looks up at Hisui. Yes, Hisui answers, and Kohaku-san hesitantly starts to speak. Your face is the same as mine. Might I ask who you are? Hisui's body freezes. That is just for an instant. With a light smile, Hisui holds Kohaku-san's hand. I think because she's lost her memory, it'd be more fitting to give Kohaku a more neutral voice closer to Hisui's. Considering that was the whole thing. I'm your little sister, Hisui. Hisui-chan? He manages to let this response out. That is probably the most cruel response she could have given. But Hisui still smiles gently and answers, yes. I'm so sorry. I do not remember anything about you, Hisui-chan, or that person over there. I'm a little scared. Don't remember anything about you. Oh. I'm a little scared. I don't remember anything about you, Hisui-chan. Maybe there must be something wrong with me. Downcast, Kohaku-san looks like a lost child. Her face clouds over and her eyes are uneasy. She is not like Kohaku-san. But still, Hisui grips her hand tightly. No, do not worry, Ne-san. No matter how uneasy you are, I will always be with you. Like how you always protected me, I will always protect you from now on, Ne-san. Kohaku-san's face is pure bewilderment. After looking at Hisui in surprise, Kohaku-san thanks her. Yes. Looking down in embarrassment, Hisui mumbles a response. Is there anything you need? Like something to eat or something you want? Kohaku-san says yes and nods with her eyes in response to Hisui's attempt to hide her shyness. There isn't anything I want to eat, but there is something I want. Can I ask you? Kohaku-san does not look just at Hisui, but looks at me sitting by the wall too. Yes, what is it, Ne-san? I think I never liked the name Kohaku, so I want a new name. What? Name? I wonder why. When she says that, only one name comes to me. That name has been discarded and only remains in memories. Shiki-sama. Hisui turns to me. Is she thinking of the same thing? She looks at me as if she wants confirmation. I nod in response. Hisui turns back to Kohaku-san and asks, Whoa. How does Nanaya sound? Nanaya. Kohaku-san murmurs it as if testing the sound. Right after, she lifts her face up as if she remembered something. Yes, I think I like the sound of that. It seems awfully nostalgic for some reason. Saying that, she smiles. Her usual smile that blossoms like a rose. Finally, for the first time since she's awakened, she smiles happily. Oh my god. This one turned out a lot sweeter. I really appreciate the true ending though. That's the kind of bittersweet I fucking love. The two of them talking looks perfectly natural. Because I think someone asked me before, and I apologize if I didn't respond, because I don't think I did, I meant to. But they asked me why I don't like bittersweet endings, but I don't think I said that. They must have been referring to how I was talking about Arguede's true ending versus her good ending. My thing about that was that I personally wanted more from Arguede and Shiki in the true ending there. Like, she left because she felt she couldn't stay. But then in the good ending, like, she takes some time to stave off her bloodlust. Then she comes back and the two spend time together. And not that I don't see the point of the true end, of course I do. But at the same time, it almost makes me want, like, some kind of epilogue to that, or something. It's missing just like a piece to it. Of like, Arguede maybe one day coming back to see Shiki. But apparently there is something more to it, I was told. Not in this VN, but yeah, to that true ending. But this true ending is so like... We'll get to it, okay. The two of them talking looks perfectly natural. Naturally, the two of them peacefully pass the time as sisters. I don't know if her losing her memory was good or bad. Since all of her memories were painful, maybe it was a good thing that it happened. Because from now on, there will be nothing but happiness. Forgetting all the sorrowful incidents, she can earn a normal happiness. But looking at this blue sky, I just can't help but think back. That young girl standing by the window. I know that the past for her is something to be forgotten about. But still, if I could, I wanted that Kohaku-san to become happy. But that is a wish that can no longer be granted, not in this route. So I just have to end that wish right now. Underneath that longed-for blue sky, I imagine for the last time her carefree smile like a lingering flower. Shiki-sama, may I please have a moment? After we leave the hospital, Hisui suddenly asks me that question. Eh? Sure, what is it? Yes, we still have time, so there is somewhere I wish to go. Oh, somewhere you wish to go? Not understanding, I tilt my head. Come on, let's go, Shiki-sama. Hisui pulls my hand forcefully and starts running. He takes me to a grassy plain outside of the city. Autumn is ending and the sky is deep. The wind that blows through the flowers and onto our faces seems to blow through our hearts. Hisui, why did you want to come here? Who knows? To be honest, there really isn't a reason. It's just that when we were coming to the hospital, I saw this field from the train. Hisui says this trivially as she stands by my side. I don't get it. This is a nice place, but it doesn't seem that special. If you wanted to play, we could go to another. No, this is the right place to visit. I wanted to come not somewhere in the city, but somewhere quiet and beautiful. It makes me feel positive. A place where you could return to your usual self. With a light smile, she looks up at me. My usual self, Hisui. Yes, but when you were in the hospital room, you looked so depressed. I understand how you feel, and I'm glad you feel that way. But that is not what Ne-san wanted. Hisui reaches out. She lightly places her hands on mine. Is that not right? I think it is better if you cheer up. Hey, Shiki-sama. You may not have realized it, but you smell like sunshine. Oh my god. How sweet. It is the Shiki-sama that I like and will always like. Her eyes look at me directly. Those eyes are really kind and optimistic. Hisui is the one that smells like sunshine. 8 years ago, it feels like we returned to that time when Akiha and I and her would run around the garden. Really, I think I'm the gloomy one if you ask me. You are just someone who does not start conversation that much, but to me, no, to us, you are like this open field. Her fingers move. I feel her squeeze me tighter. So there, please don't make that face, Shiki-sama. Akiha-sama was saved, and even Ne-san was saved. There's no reason for you to be sad. Ne-san is still alive, and I am sure she will return to the way she was someday, and even if not, I will make her many times happier. That's best case scenario for what you can do right now. No doubt. Do not have time to be sad, because we have to help Ne-san and Akiha-sama be happier from now on. Damn right. What she's saying is fairly preposterous, so I wonder why. After hearing those words, I feel a ray of light shining into my gloomy heart. That's right. I'm her big brother, so it's only natural to do such a thing. Hisui nods. Yeah, it might be hard, but we have to do it, because I want them to be happy too. Yes, I know you can do it. Nodding strongly, she holds my hand against her chest. I can feel her heartbeat. The delicate warmth of her body serenely blows like the wind through the grass into my own heart. Besides, if you do not cheer up, I will be very troubled. Why, I ask. Hisui's cheeks flush, but she still looks directly at me. You are the only one who can make me happy. I want to always be near your side, always be near your sunshine. Oh my god. Oh my god, that just melted my heart. She stands on her tiptoes to kiss me. Oh, the sky is high. Underneath that sky where there is no sadness, I receive the warmth of the one I love the most. From the field is the gentle smell of the sunshine. Yeah, Hisui's words are exactly right. Lost a lot, but we haven't lost everything. The days will still go on into the future. And we have to go on and try our best to make everyone live happily. Thanks, Hisui. Holding your delicate body, I close my eyes. Tears flow down my cheeks, but there is no sadness. Life itself is fun enough, I've known that for a long time. Then, holding Hisui's hand, I'll walk on and have no regrets. And I love how this continues to be a theme, like ever since the Arcueid route about, about having fun and holding on to these good times and these memories and to push forward in honor of those things. Nice. We did it. God, I forgot what a good ending felt like after Akiha's normal end. Gosh. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Sure.
You have reached Hisui's good ending. Well done. Each heroine, with one exception, has two different kinds of endings. A true ending and a good ending. Since you can't reach Hisui-san's good ending without seeing the true ending, you have now finished Hisui-san's route completely.
Yeah.
Well then, thank you very much for playing up to this point. Let's meet again somewhere in Tsukihime.
Wait, what? What is this? Who's talking?
Sia-san, I also have something I must impart.
Huh? Professor Roa,
It's rare indeed for you to come to a place like this. This circumstance is unique. I will get to the point right away. Now that you have cleared Hisui-san's route, should be another choice for you on the first day.
Yes.
This is the unlocking of the last route in Tsukihime.
It's about the girl in the window, right? I saw it in getting the good ending here. I noticed it. When I was fast forwarding through everything, I was like, oh, I wasn't there before. I'm pretty sure.
Well, even if I do not tell you this, it is very clear if you go to the graphic mode.
But no, he just said because I've cleared the route, which means both endings, then there's actually a new choice? I don't know. Maybe the window one was there before, but I swear that was a new one. Anyway, I'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Well, even if I do not tell you this, it is very clear if you go to the graphic mode.
We haven't seen this Roa in so long. This sprite.
That's right. Well then, please continue on and enjoy Tsukihime.
No, I've never used the graphic mode. Oh, right. Okay. It's all the CGs. Well, let me not hit the next one in case I have to censor shit. But, wow. There it is. Oh, Arcueid. Arcueid, I remember you so. And Ciel. Ciel was barely there this route. You know, with us being the far side internalized in the mansion and the inner workings of like Akiha, of Hisui and Kohaku, and what happened with Makihisa, and how everyone's been suffering and how they truly feel, and you know, we're really not seeing the first two, but we're still having a lot of contact with Akiha and seeing just her care for Shiki, and the fact that they killed her off in the true ending is so like, gosh, man. There it is. One to go. But man, what a journey this has been. Look at all these endings, dude. All right. Hisui's route was so enlightening, dude. It's really fucking good. This route was so good. It's a contender for it's a contender for my favorite so far, for sure. But I have to play Kohaku's to really be sure, of course. I'm not sure yet, but damn, that was a really good one. Absolutely fucking disturbing. But so many things we learned, dude. So much about Hisui, so much about Kohaku. And we still have to do her route. Knowing all of this, we have to go into her route and navigate that shit, dude. But before we get into that, let's talk about Hisui. Hisui, oh my god, she's such a sweetheart. And knowing about like her feelings of like, you know, going with the swap with Kohaku, who after she was freed, you know, she started orchestrating everything for her own freedom, and you know, to get everyone killed. I mean, the true ending, she admitted it was close to revenge, but what you could call it. But yeah, in doing that, and you know, Hisui going along with it, you know, feeling the guilt at what her sister went through for her. Of course, like her sister taking on that burden, Kohaku, you know, because Makihisa took both of them, and I mean, like I thought before, she took the bullet, man. And Hisui knew, and she never left. You know, she didn't, because her older sister did that so Hisui could be clean, and that's why she never left the mansion. She vowed to stay clean for her sister, like not even to wanting to touch any males or anyone of opposite sex. Like, fuck, man. Then the whole thing with the ribbon, and like Hisui just kind of navigating all these things because of the confusion, like with the ribbon and everything, and her going with it, and her knowing the truth. How it started out with Hisui being the rock for Shiki, as things were starting to go awful for him. Their dynamic is what kept him going, just the normalcy and the way she would just be there for him and wake him up, and what that evolved into as things just got worse and worse. The moments they spent together. But that's the thing. I don't even know all the times they were swapped, Kohaku and Hisui. I would have to go back to like truly catch them all. But I'm sure if you notice things, because I tried first by like trying to look at their eyes, but no, but there's like there has to be like differences in body language and the way like Hisui gets really expressive out of nowhere, right? Like especially like yeah, body language and the way she talks. Apparently there was a choice to be made that Santa told me, that where you pick it, like when it comes to like opening the door or not, back during then, that the other way leads to actually an H scene with Kohaku, which I don't, just sounds like I don't, like no, but apparently in that, like she lets slip a Shiki-san instead of a Shiki-sama. So even though she tries to be Hisui in that moment when he's at the door there, right? She lets that slip, and that's how you tell the difference there. So yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of things like that, and I know so many of you were waiting for me to get to that reveal. I had no clue, dude. That whole thing is still blowing my mind. But even more blowing my mind, because you can't talk about the Hisui's route without talking about Kohaku. Like when you like identifying Hisui's feelings, and like in her knowing what her sister was going through, and you know, trying to care for Shiki, and you know, falling in love, like getting to explore her love with Shiki, because how she feels about Shiki and how her sister's feelings towards Shiki. You know, her loving Shiki and Shiki saying I love you back. Like, it's great that it goes like that for Hisui, but in the background you just learn all this shit about Kohaku, and awful, horrible. Like I can't, it does it no justice for me to like express anything about that, because it's just so bad. Like what the fuck do I even say about that? Like what do I even say? I still don't know. Like I can only express that, and it's just not enough. It's just the absolute worst, horrible, horrid shit ever. So for her to plan this revenge, I mean, against Akiha is just, it feels like, it feels real bad against Akiha. Like for her to plan for her to get killed. But man, it's very understandable, like how she would feel this way and would go that far. I mean, after she tried to kill her own emotions by calling herself a doll, of course she still feels emotions. She's still a fucking human being. But having to do that just to survive and orchestrating all these events, causing Shiki to go out and kill people, you know, feeding him information, like, as he was unconscious in his sleep, you know, after drugging him, telling him about Shiki, about Akiha, like where to go, and all leading up to that finale where she planned for both of them to die. Like, that is still blowing my mind that she orchestrated, even with the Makihisa, him dying. Dude, she orchestrated so much shit in the background and we had no idea. This route was so much. It was so much. Like, this discussion doesn't even scratch the surface, I'm sure. But the endings, dude, the endings. That true ending was gorgeously bittersweet. Absolutely amazingly bittersweet. Terrible. Losing Akiha, losing Kohaku after that horrible conversation with her. But her just laying everything out, everything she did. And then killing herself because she had no more goal to keep her going as a doll. Like, a doll needs someone to help her move. Like, if it's not needs something to help it move, if it doesn't have anything left, and there's no reason for it to move anymore. Like, that's so fucking. And then all that leading up to, because it was crazy how, like, the Shiki falling asleep there before, and Akiha waking him up, and then it happening for enough for Hisui to come and to interfere. Now on the true ending, and she straight up kills herself. And in the end, she admits that it was an illusion, that it hurts. She's in pain. Like, holy fuck, dude. If anything, I am so ready to do her route. I'm so ready for her route. We're gonna fucking save Kohaku, dude. I don't know how. I mean, she already said, like, if we ever could tell the difference between her and Hisui, she was gonna drop her plan completely. We also have to return her ribbon to meet her back under the tree. Dude, we're gonna do this shit, dude. Shiki's gonna realize somehow, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna save Kohaku. Oh my god, I cannot wait. They set that up so beautifully. This route is amazing in itself, but it sets up Kohaku's route so good, dude. I've never been more hyped, like, to see what this route was gonna be. Like, this is like this is like people hyping up the Heaven Sphere route. It's like, oh my god, we're gonna do this shit, dude. Like, it's finally gonna happen. But yeah, man, it's as they drive it in, it's like, whoop, she couldn't be saved this time, and this is how things are playing out. And yeah, it's true, she couldn't. You know, this was Hisui's route, and the way things played out led up beautifully in both sides. I mean, in the good ending, at least, Kohaku gets the salvation of forgetting her memories and being able to live in some happiness from now on, because Shiki and Hisui are gonna make it so, and Akiha, for Akiha's sake as well, who's alive, you know, get to do good for her sake. You know, she's not gonna succumb to her blood. But you know, right now things are okay, and they can enjoy this time together. And Hisui, like, kissing Chiki and calling him her sunshine and just being that for her, just being that ray of light for each other. And the true ending was the most beautiful example of that, like with Kohaku dying, with Akiha dying, just her resolving too. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, what a route, man. What a route. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say for now. I'm gonna make a point to catch up on comments just because I've been so, things have been so out of whack for me lately. I'll be honest with you. It's just been real tough for me to just, but I'm keeping going. That's all I can do. But yeah, I'm gonna catch up more on comments, and I would love to see what y'all have to say about this ending, how you feel about it, and there's other things you want to talk about or address that maybe I'm missing in my initial reaction here, but I think that's all there is to say for now. I am so drained. I am so drained, dude, but that was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, I think that's it, man. Thank you so much for watching. If you're seeing this on YouTube and you would like to see more of my playthrough of Tsukihime, the next couple parts are already posted on Patreon. If you want to see me already playing the Kohaku route, check it out in the description for $5. It's yours, and I keep up with the schedule every week. You get early access to this and every other series I do, all my other gaming series too, including Persona, including Yakuza 0. I will be moving on to Kiwami as well, by the way. But yeah. So most of all, I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next route. Peace.